Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand for our first live Manchester United watch-along of the season. It's a pre-season game, but it is against Leeds United. Are you excited for Manchester United? We are. We've got the team news coming in. We've also got news around transfers, and Kone will not be loaned out this season. They were thinking about doing it. Now they're not going to do it. This is breaking news. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's talk about the team. We will have all the stats updated. We will have the teams on the screen, but we're just waiting for that data to come through, but that will update itself there. I will read out the Manchester United side for you today. So Bayinda, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Shaw. Actually, let me do it the way that I hate the way United do it. I absolutely hate the way United do it. They list it on bloody. How do United release the team? Yeah, bloody idiotville. Yeah, let's put the team out in number order. I mean, we're not bloody doing a maths equation. Why don't they put the team out in position order? Oh, we'll go Bayinda, we'll go Mazraoui, we'll go De Ligt, we'll go Bruno, and then we're like idiots. Right, okay. The team is Bayinda in goal, Mazraoui, De Ligt, and Shaw as your centre backs. Leon debut at left wing back. Ahmad right wing back. Collier and Casemiro in the midfield. Bruno playing as 10 with Cunha, and then Obi. So, look, it's the first game of the season, and therefore we have a interesting sort of perspective here. We get to see Obi playing up front. We've got Leon playing left wing back. We've got Cunha playing at 10. We've got Bruno playing at 10 as well. Collier's playing with Casemiro. Is he putting himself in the shop window? Is he staying? We've just heard that Kone's staying. Ahmad is playing right wing back. Luke Shaw is fit. So there are a few interesting positions there. Now, apparently Leeds have gone strong as well. Look, there is a lot to say about the fact that I don't think we're learning anything massively, because when you look at the bench, you've got Heaton, me, Delo, Dorgu, Fredrickson, Heaven, Kokonki, Maguire, Monroe, Yoro, Fletcher, Kone, Mainu, Mount, Agate, Hoyland, Mantato, and Williams. For me, there's too many kids there. I don't want to see this on the tour, but I actually don't want us to be giving half an hour to everybody. I want to see 45 minutes for the key players, but it worries me a little bit how many players are on the bench there. I really don't understand why. And I know we've done it in the past, but we also finished 15th in the past and we lost the Europa League final. I want to see 45 minutes for the first team squad each. I don't want to see half an hour so we can give some, 18-year-old that'll end up being loaned out and sold. I don't. I know that's harsh, and I know it's probably in the minority view, but we had a terrible season last year, and I want to see us, take it seriously. So yeah, that's that. So the lineup for Manchester United. Let me just remind you of that. It is Bayinda in goal, which I sort of feared we would do. Bayinda in goal. Wing backs are going to be Leon and Ahmad. Bruno and Cunha is a 10 with Obi up front. Collier and Casemiro in the midfield. And then Shaw, De Ligt and Mazraoui as the three centre-backs. So that's how we're lining up. Come on, Leeds, says R. I'm going to talk to you about Kone in a minute, but let me just get you this Leeds lineup. I think they will take it seriously. It's their rivalry against us is big. I mean, I don't know the Leeds team. Is this a strong Leeds team? Darlow, Biram, Bijol, Roden, Bogle, Ampadu, Groove, Tanaka, Harrison, Nonto, and Micha. Is that a strong side for Leeds? Longstaff's on their bench. Dan James is on their bench. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Leeds, so it is a strong team apparently. There we go. Hi to Abdi. Thank you very much for that. Remember, if you want to get your super chats in, we'll read those. Do that through the $sign. If you want to join the members club, get involved, click the join button. You can become a member and have a badge next to your name, like Stephen G. Jacob Berg, one of our members, says Nonto so good. No Agate starting. No, he's on the bench. It is a strong lead side apparently. Obi starting. Can we read anything into who's starting and who's not starting, Mark? I don't necessarily think so. Let me just see if Let me just see if... no, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not going to work, is it? Anyway, look, let's get into the news. Right, let's talk about the news. That we can come back to that in a moment. So, a bit of breaking news. Manchester United will not be loaning out Kone. They've put that on hold after he's impressed Ruben Amorim and his staff in training this week. And the expectation is now he will stay at Manchester United. This is breaking in the last sort of half an hour. It follows hot on the heels of Lyon as well, who will not be loaned. So good, positive news there. It is good news. It is good news. It is good news. I'm quite excited about Kone and have been since we brought him in. I would like to have seen him get a little bit more time last year, but obviously it was a difficult season. Obviously Lyon we're going to get to look at today. And I think with Kone, I think the feeling of loaning him was because they felt he needed first team football. Now, if we're not going to loan him, that suggests that hopefully we're going to find opportunities for it to give him first team football. I don't know how likely that will be, but we can't be too dependent on young players because it's a very important season. So whilst I think it's important and exciting to have people like Lyon and Kone and Obi, we are a team that was shit last season. And we also know that young players are a work in progress, as we've seen with people like Garnacho and Ahmad and Rashford over the years. So we can't rely on these players, and I hope we're not using them as squad fillers because we can't afford to buy players. If we're going to keep them and use them, we need to use them in the right way. We don't want to end up in a situation like Mainu, who has a great breakout season, and then last season, I don't even know what that was from Mainu. So I want Manchester United to be about developing young players, but I want us to be about developing young players for the betterment of that player and not because we can't afford to buy players in the transfer window. So hopefully, if we're going to use these players, it's because we believe that they're ready and not because we know that we're not going to buy players. Right, I'm going to turn this off on the right-hand side at the moment because it's an absolute waste of time. Because it isn't actually showing us anything, but it will do at some point. So you can have a look at my shelves. Right, let's come back to the chat here. Excited to see Lyon, says Lake on the Moon. Appreciate that. I've heard a lot of great things from people at the training ground. I'm going to just do something here, just while I'm chatting away. I think we will win the Champions League, idiot. Who said that? I'm literally, Ibrahim, I'm literally turning away to get the team up on the screen for you. And you've done a super chat saying, I think we'll win the Champions League. Oh, in the next 10 years, do you agree? No. I think that some people in life are very eager to put a label on things and time limits on things. And do you think we're going to win the league in 2028? And can we win the Champions League in 10 years? Can Fulham win the Champions League in 10 years? No. Can Man United win the Champions League in 10 years? Honestly, I would like to think they can. But where we are at the moment, I have to say no. Until we see something that is conducive to Manchester United winning, being a big club again, I just look at the Champions League and I think, you know what, it's going to be very, very difficult. Okay, there's your team news. It's absolutely massive. And I'm not talking about that forehead. Whose forehead's that? I think we all know. I'm talking about the team. The team, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. There we go. Let me make this a little bit smaller. That's lovely. So let me still. It's not great, but you can just about read it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to move that along. This is all live on the screen. Happening here. Make it thinner. Make it bigger. There we go. That'll do, won't it? Lyon. Pull it in a bit against Ahmad. And what else can I do? Can I like that? There we go. That'll do for now. Smash a like on the video. That's the sort of thing we do. There we go. Done it. Times, kickoff, anyone, says Lost Boy. 2 o'clock we will be live. 2 o'clock we'll be live. Hi, Mark. Just wondering if you're going to do an FC26 career mode. Yes, I will, Sass. I will be doing that. Started supporting United 10 years ago. My favourite period was during COVID when we played our best football. I'd love to have that again, says Jack. Look, very excited by this. Very excited by this. Very excited that we've got a game that is going to be competitive. What are my expectations from the game today? Well, I'm not over-egging the pudding, and I'm not milking it, and I'm not being sensationalist. It's exciting. I think if you're Arsenal, your pre-season is preparatory. I think if you are Aston Villa at the moment, your pre-season is a little bit confusing because you haven't really done anything in the market. I think for Manchester United, our pre-season is more interesting than most because we're actually preparing not just for the season. We have to be, this season has to be transformative is the word. We have to deliver, but it has to be transformative. So we need to see in pre-season a different Manchester United. Like, we can't watch this game today and go, that was like last season. We can't. There has to be glimpses. And I go back to Ten Hag's first pre-season out in Australia and Asia. I think we went to, did we go to Bangkok that year or something? Definitely went to China, I think. And we played some good football. We played some good football, and it was an insight into what might happen. And, you know, there was little shorts of clips of little drills on how we can pass the ball, this, that, and the other. And obviously it didn't come to pass, but that's my point about pre-season. Just because we play well in pre-season doesn't mean we'll do it in the Premier League because it's more competitive. But it still stands to reason that we need to see in pre-season good football. Because if Ten Hag can get us to play good football in pre-season, then so can Amrim. And we have to start seeing this system work. I don't want next season to be sat here with you lot going, oh, Gary Neville or Paul Scholes or Robbie Savage or somebody else is going on about the system again. I think that we need to be better when it comes to that. And look, I'm not really going to... I don't think that the system needs to be a conversation, but that needs to be proven. And you look at the quality of these players, they need to start delivering, don't they, really? Hi, Mark. Do you think Bruno, as a 10, gets our midfield off the hook, says Espin? Well, look, Bruno's playing as a 10 in that position at the moment. And look, that pleases me. Like, if we're keeping Bruno Fernandes because we want to play him as a number 10 and we're not going to take £100 million from Al Hilal, that pleases me. But why have we bought Mbeumo? So I look at that and I go, he ain't playing as a 10, is he? Come on. He ain't going to be playing as a 10 in real life. I mean, you know what I mean by real life. This is real life. It's not a drill. But I like Bruno in the 10. And it excites me when I see Bruno as a 10 because I think that's his best position. I mean, Just Keevan says, I prefer him in the pivot. I don't. I think he's defensively weak. But as a 10, that's what he is. But we've bought Mbeumo, and I can't see Mbeumo being on the bench, and I can't see him playing up front, and I can't see him playing right wing back. I think he's surely going to use him next to Cunha. And if he did put Mbeumo on the right, what do you do with Ahmad? So, or are we going to put Mbeumo up front? I don't know. But like Warren says, it's just a friendly and it shows that Bruno can play that position. And I think that's all it is. I'm with Warren. I think it's a friendly. Bruno can play as a 10. But I don't think that means he's going to play as a 10. I mean, Toby Collier's not going to be in our midfield, is he, against Arsenal? Casemiro... I mean, look, we're not even talking about that. We're not talking about Arsenal yet. What we're talking about is systematically, can we start to make this team work? Can we play good football? Can we create chances? And I think they're the three things I'm looking at. Can we make the system work? Can we play good football? And can we create chances? And I think they're the three things to take away. from this. Hi, Mark. Currently sat at the stadium on my own with you in my ears. Cheers for keeping me company. Been watching since Van Gaal days. Much love, says Robin. Big shout out to Robin and anyone who's actually at the game. Thank you very much, pal. I've done that one from Espin. Hi, Mark. Your channel helped me in the toughest times. Can you please shout out my channel that gives people life advice? Idio Atlas Life Advice. There we go. Thank you very much for your super chat. Idio Atlas Life Advice. Thank you very much. I'm glad it's been a big help to you. Lake on the Moon says, I'm excited to see Leon, though. I've heard a lot of great things from people at the training ground. Me too. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for the early super chats. Appreciate that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, as well. We are very, very close to hitting 120,000, basically. We're on 2.1 million, but we're very close to 120,000. We're only 500 subscribers away. Please click the button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe to the channel. And if you have subscribed, share the video. Thank you very much for that. Yes, so Manchester United are going to be playing Leeds. Any transfer news, Mark? There's a little bit. Why is Luke Shaw starting, says Scrum? I ain't going to let Man United returning to football action on a Saturday. We have got football back now for the next few weeks on a weekend. We're playing next Saturday, we're playing the Sunday after, and we're playing the Saturday after that, and then we're playing the Sunday after that against Arsenal. So every weekend we've got a Man United game now. Yabba dabba doo. Brilliant. I'm not going to let Luke Shaw playing a game of football for Man United bother me. He will get injured, absolutely get injured at some point. He was a liability at the end of last season, and I think that's the big thing. I don't want to talk about the injuries, because I've been a big fan of Luke Shaw. You know I have. But I've lost patience. The money we pay him is a joke. I think people like Marcus Rashford and Garnacho and Sancho have received fair criticism, but I think Luke Shaw dodges it. I think he deserves criticism. I think choosing England over being fit for Man United a year ago was a joke. And I think that his injury record is a joke. And I think the wage he is paid is a joke. And I think the way he played at the end of last season was a joke. And I think he cost us in the Europa League final. But to be fair, Amrin picked him, and Amrin's picking him again. If Luke Shaw can stay fit and get back to where he was 2.5 years ago, we've got a very, very good player. But have I run out of patience with Luke Shaw? Yes, which is a big statement for somebody that really likes him as a player. Can he win that back? Always. Matic did it. So maybe we're going to see a Luke Shaw renaissance. I wouldn't bet on it, but maybe we are. No, Agate, Yoro, or Mainu is crazy, says Chase. They are on the bench, I think. I hope. Mainu's on the bench. Agate is on the bench. And Yoro is on the bench, yeah. Yeah, he's not. I mean, look, he's not picking his strongest side here. This is not his strongest side. It could have been Xerxes up front if he'd have been fit. It could have been Rasmus up front, but he's on the bench. It could have been Dorgo at left back instead of Leon. It could have been Maguire instead of Shaw. Yoro as well. So I don't think it's his strongest team, and I think we'll see a different team in the second half. And sometimes what you see in pre-season is you don't pick your strongest team, you pick a team that is going to be balanced in both halves. And I think that might be what we're looking at here. Because you can see in the second half that the three centre-backs are more than likely going to be Heaven, Yoro and Maguire. And we'll see Dorgo and Delo at wing-back. And we'll see Agate and Mainu in the midfield. And I would imagine the number 10s will probably be Rasmus up front with Mount. And, I mean, maybe Bruno will play 90 minutes. You never know. But I think we will play... you can see what they're doing. He's splitting his team, isn't he? Because he probably wants performance, hopefully. World Cup season, a Shaw redemption is possible, says Adzi. Let's hope so. Why doesn't Shaw get as much outrage as Rashford, says Simply Red? I mean, he hasn't done the things that Rashford and Garnacho have done, has he? But I do think that he was very lucky last summer. Basically going to England injured and only getting fit for the semi-finals and then coming back injured. I think that if that had been Paul Pogba, bloody hell, can you imagine? At the end of the day, Champers, says Fennec. Are you going on the slide today, Mark? Well, I would have done the slideshow today, but one, it's pissing it down with rain, and two, we've got a watch along, so I will do it probably tomorrow afternoon. If Amorim can't get decent football out of Bruno, Cunha, and Burmo and Ahmad immediately, there's something seriously wrong with him as a manager, says Conrad. It's starting to look better, isn't it? It is starting to look better. Hi, Mark. Currently sat in the stadium on my own with you. I might have done that one. Thank you very much. Thanks for your early super chats, as I say. Make sure you subscribe. Collier is a talent, says Rob. I think that we are... I like Collier. I don't know whether we're putting him in the shop window. We have a really good source quite close to things. A couple of months ago, we were talking about the midfield, and basically the message was there will be no midfielder unless Mainu or Casemiro are moved on, and that's not going to happen. But in that update in May, we were told that Collier, keep an eye on it, he could be sold or loaned out. And then this week, it came out, I can't remember who said it, but I think it was The Athletic, actually. So Collier might be being put in the shop window here, because you've got Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, Kone staying now, Bruno. So you might not need Collier. But regardless of whether he's in the shop window, regardless of whether he's going to be this year's pre-season Pirlo, look at what Chelsea did in the Club World Cup with Nkunku. They used him in the semi-final and they used him in the final. You put him in the shop window. So some of these players might be being put in the shop window. Some of these players Amorim made his mind up about yet. Nice to see, like, we have options today, says Dan Davey. Champers. Get Bruno and Shaw and keeper out of that lineup, and I'm okay. Champers, says Taylor. Any news on Linda? Oh, no, Leak. You're talking about Martinez. Thanks, Cunnell. God, I had a flashback then. I used to fancy a girl called Linda. When's he going to come back after international break? Have a good day, Mark. Yeah, I think with Martinez will be... back after the international break. That was always the thought. He won't be back before. I'm not saying he'll be back straight after the international break, but he won't be back before. That was always the plan, though. 100%. 100%. Maguire needs to be starting. Oh, come on. Come on. Can you listen to yourselves? Can you have a bloody word with yourselves? We haven't even kicked off for pre-season yet. We've got half an hour till the game kicks off, and people are saying such and such should be starting. Remove your head from your arse. Clean out your ears, free your mind, and just realise it's a pre-season game. We're not picking our strongest team. If your favourite player's on the bench, don't stress about it. This is not his strongest team. Maguire may well start against Arsenal. He might just be looking at it and going, Shaw's a backup, I'll use him. De Ligt's a starter, Mazraoui's a starter. Second half, Maguire's a starter, Yoro's a starter, and Heaven's a backup. He's probably just balancing his back three. That's probably all he's doing. Because Yoro's a starter for me, Maguire's a starter, De Ligt's a starter, and Mazraoui's a starter. So we've got 4 players for 3 positions. I don't think Bruno's going to play as a number 10 next season. So he's probably playing there because he wants to try Ahmad on the right, and he wants to give Collier and Casemiro a game. So I'm happy with this team. I mean, this is what pre-season's all about. Trying different things, hoping to uncover new things. That's what it should be all about, yeah. I'm worried about getting injuries, says Liam. We did mention this last night. Not last night, it was Terry last night. I think it was yesterday afternoon. We've got to just be realistic about this. I think it's going to be There's 2 things about this season nobody's talking about because they forgot. One of them is VAR. It's still going to be terrible this season, and everybody's forgot. The second one is injuries. We're still going to have loads of frustrating injuries. We will still have. We will still be one of the worst teams in the league for injuries. There's no way. I've had it firsthand. I've heard it firsthand anyway. But nothing has changed at that football club that's going to stop us getting injuries this season. The feedback basically is this. You can't just, over the space of 2 months, get a couple of, get a new medical department and get some new equipment and then people don't get injured. Part of the problem is some of these players are injury prone. It doesn't matter how good your equipment is or how good the swimming pool is or how good your grass is, they're still going to get injured. So we are still going to pick up injuries. And it is the hidden danger again. The hope is that we don't pick up any bad ones in pre-season like we did last year, where in one game, I think it was in one half, we lost Yoro and we lost Rasmus. And I think I'm right in saying that the year before it was Mainu against Arsenal that we lost for about 3 months as well. So we've not had a great pre-season over the last few years in relation to losing important players. So if we can come through pre-season without injuries, I completely hear you. It would be great. Feels good to be watching United with all of you. Get in, says Jace. It's nice to be back, isn't it? It's nice to be back. It's nice to do anything that's not transfer related, really, that's United related. So nice to see you all. Got nearly 20,000 watching already. Please do share the video and make sure you subscribe. Casper says, forget the hotometer. Let's get out the leanometer. Free Yoro says it's CJR. Liam said he's worried about injuries. As long as Bruno is part of this team, we will never progress, says Taylor. And is there any chance of Mbeumo coming to America? Says I got 50p. I think it's nailed on, mate. I think it's absolutely nailed on. He's having his medical today. He could be officially announced tomorrow, if not Monday morning. So he will be on that plane. Yeah, 100%. Don't worry about that. What's your view on Martinez as a goalkeeper? Emi Martinez from Villa as a goalkeeper would be a huge step up. I mean, it's a little bit annoying, to be fair, that we've got it's a little bit annoying, to be honest, that we've got Binder in goal, because it feels like we're treading water here. Like there's an opportunity to try and do something like in the market, but also with what you've got. Like I'm just looking at the goalkeeping options, and there is, I mean, Vitek's not even on the bench, is he? Who are the goalkeepers? Heaton. Is that me, a goalkeeper as well? Or have we just got two goalkeepers on the bench? So I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity to be playing pre-season with Heaton and Binder as your goalkeepers. But, you know, me is a keeper as well, says Dave. Yeah, I don't know anything about me. I mean, I know something about me, but I don't know anything about me as a goalkeeper. Vitek did not travel, so it doesn't look good for him, does it? It doesn't look like we're going to use Vitek. Mark, people may critique you in a million ways, but your ability to talk till kingdom come is impeccable, says Daniel. Thank you. I don't know whether that's a compliment. We need more signings ASAP. The signings are not good enough. We need a striker. And we need a holding midfielder and a keeper. Overall, we are behind compared to others, says Faniel. I think the biggest problem that Man United have is that we finished the season a long way behind our supposed rivals, and so far in this transfer window, they've all had better transfer windows than us. Thea says hello, says Whitey. Hello to Thea. Feels good to be back watching. Yes, says Jace. Thank you very much for that. I've just realised I'm an idiot. I haven't even tweeted this myself. Let me just do that. Are you happy with the team, Mark? I don't think I wouldn't be happy with the team, because I don't think it actually matters. The big key points for me are that it's a competitive game, that we play good football, that we create chances, and the system starts to work. I can't, off the top of my head, remember a game last season where I thought the system worked. So I think these things are really important. As for the team, I don't really care. I mean, that's exactly what I thought it would be. I would never have predicted it, but I thought it would be a bit of a mix. Some first-team players, some reserve players, and I think we'll see that in the second half. So I wouldn't be sat there going, oh my God, Yoro's not starting, or oh my God, Dorgu's not starting. I don't think that at all. I think it's exactly what you should do in pre-season. I'd be excited if I was Obi. I mean, I literally was saying this morning, I know he's 17, but Michael Owen was playing at 17. Wayne Rooney was playing at 17. And I'm not saying he's the next Michael Owen or the next Wayne Rooney, but you can break through at 17. It's unlikely, but you can do it. And if you're going to do it, you've got to show it in a pre-season. So, yeah, good. Kickoff's been delayed. I don't know what for. I don't know how long, but if anyone knows, let me know. Leeds TV is $4.99 if you want to watch it cheaper, says Reagan. don't know. I mean, is it worth the... I don't know what MUTV costs, to be honest. We need him. Thank you very much, Fanuel. Anyway, feels good to be back, says Jace. Thank you very much. Mark, done that from Daniel as well. Appreciate it. Yeah, people keep saying kickoff delayed. Lovely stuff, but we don't know how long it's been delayed till. So 10 minutes due to traffic. There we go. There we go. Jem says it's $7.99 a month for MUTV, and it's $4.99 for Leeds TV. So you could save yourself £3, but then they won't be showing Man United games next week. Just saying. Just saying. Let me just have a look if there's any transfer news to bring in for you, just before I come back to the chat. I'm surprised we haven't had an interview from Amrim yet, to be honest. Man United, just very, very quickly. Completely and utterly marketing this is. We are playing Leeds, the Battle of the Roses. We should be in red, they should be in white. We're in white and they're in blue. And we're in white because we need to sell our kit. So, look, that's football. This is the United stand, actually. You're not on That's Football, but that's football. It's as commercial as it is a sport. And that's why we're playing against Leeds in a white kit. So don't get confused. That's what's happening. What are you expecting from Cunha? A lot. Not necessarily in this game, but a lot. I'm excited by the player. I think he was a great player for Wolves. I think he's got immense balance. I think he's got a real drive on the ball, and I think that he can be a real game changer for us. What I want to see is a real positive pre-season where we blow a few teams away, people get a bit optimistic, and then we get brought back down to earth by getting pumped at home by Arsenal. No, I'm only joking. But I think we have to have... It can't be a shock if we have a good pre-season, basically. We have to have a good pre-season, because if we don't, I think we all know that the season's going to be hard. So we have to take some momentum into it. I think that's really, really important. And we've got some good games. I mean, look, Leeds probably going to get relegated. Let's be honest. And Bournemouth, West Ham and Everton, probably all going to be in the bottom half, I would say. West Ham and Everton, certainly. Bournemouth, maybe. So I would expect us to go and win these next 4 games and Fiorentina. And that is only pre-season, but it's still momentum. And as I keep saying, create chances, play good football, play with high intensity, show something new, give us some momentum. That's all we can hope for. And I think it's... I know for a fact that the first 2 weeks of pre-season have been well received by everybody who's there. Obviously, it's not been well received by Sancho and co, but they're not part of it. There is a good feeling around the squad. I think by banning certain players, it's solidified Amrim's position as the boss. Some players won't have seen that before. Let's not forget, certain players who've been at this football club for a while, Bruno Fernandes, etc., will have a good relationship with people like Marcus Rashford and Garnacho. I don't know whether they're mates, but they will be colleagues. So even for someone like Bruno, it's quite a big thing to see players that you've played with for longer than you've been managed by Amrim basically isolated and left out in the cold. But it shows that the manager is in charge, and I think that's so important. And now what we've got to see from these players that we can't trust, who are inconsistent, we've got to see that trust and consistency come through. Not taking 100 million for average Bruno will set us back several years, says Taylor. I mean, look, if we were going to play Bruno Fernandes as a number 10 for the whole season, I probably wouldn't take the 100 million. But if we're going to play him as where Collier is for the whole season, then I probably would have took the 100 million. And that's sort of where I'm at with it. But, you know, it's... We are where we are now. And I wonder where he's put it. I think I've got a better team screen. Yeah, I think with regards to Bruno, we've just got to move on, haven't we? I mean, look, Amrin will be judged on that, definitely. I said it at the time. You said it at the time. If this goes wrong, it will fall on his shoulders. That's what management's for. That's why you get paid the big bucks. You've got to make decisions. And he felt that £100 million wasn't as important as having Bruno Fernandes in his team. He trains the team. He knows the characters. He knows the qualities. He knows the plan for the summer transfer window. So he is the guy that has to bear the responsibility. Right, this is going to work really well. Here we go. This is better. Get ready to smash a like on the video. There we go. That's so much better. There we go. That's what we want. That's what we want. Love that. Appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. Lovely stuff. Okay. Let me come back to the chat. Hello, hello. It's good to be back. It's good to be back, says Lad. Mad. 2 games on MUTV. The rest is on Sky Sports, says Gareth. What? Why would Sky have Man United's pre-season games? You're having a laugh? No, that's not true. Our pre-season games are always on MUTV. That can't be true, Gareth, surely. MUTV is $4.99 in South Africa. I love all this, Uriel. Is the pressure... This is a good question from Sir J.K. Worthing. Is the pressure on Cunha to do well? The highest it's ever been on a new signing. Everyone needs him to do well. Are the next few years dependent on how he and other signings this window do? No. Oh, it is on Sky because it's the Premier League series. Sky has it. Okay, that's fine. So maybe you do want to get Leeds TV. Thanks for the explanation. Pressure on Cunha. Is United's success linked to him? I think he is look, we were talking about this a few minutes ago. Our pre-season is really different to everybody's, really. If you're Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, you've had good seasons, you're looking to go again, that's what your pre-season's about doing. We've had a terrible season with a new manager who's got to change everything, so it has to be transformative. And I think when you look at Cunha, he has to be a transformative signing. We need Cunha to be transformative. And what I mean by that is, he's got to be a focal point to the team. He's got to conduct the team. He's got to be somebody that can, rival Bruno in relation to importance. He can't be in his shadow. I think Bruno Fernandes has been the guy at Man United for the last 2 years. So I still want Bruno to be an important player, but I don't think it's healthy when one player basically carries the team. And I think Bruno has been doing that. So people like Cunha and Mbeumo, hopefully Ahmad progresses through. We need players to start sharing the burden. And that's where Cunha comes into it for me. Thank you very much for that super chat. Very, very good. Did I see one from Angry Brits? I hope you're doing well, Angry Brit. He says, my main issue with that lineup is that Shaw will be out much of the season, so why bother playing him? And Hitton says, I know Bruno's expense allows Amram to start him at right wing now and back to pivot once Mbeumo's in, but I really want to see him play with the discipline as an 8, says Hitton. Watch out for Bijol, Mark. He's seriously good centre-back, says Alan. There, they took him in. Bijol is a new signing for Leeds from Bologna, I believe. And, yeah, very good. Doug passes, Kickoff delayed, I can finish mowing my lawn. Is that Manscaped? Can Bruno be positionally disciplined today, says Ali. Well, he's going to play as a 10, isn't he? So it'll be a bit different. Carl confirms only 2 pre-season games on MUTV because the other games are part of the Sky Sports Prem series. Good to be back, gentlemen. You guys are getting robbed, though. MUTV is only $4.99 here in the US. Greetings from Oklahoma, says Rod. Well, it wouldn't be like Manchester United or the Premier League to rip off UK-based fans, would it? That really would surprise me. Has Obi gotten a new number, or is it an error? Says Atoya. I don't know. I've never given a toss about shirt numbers. As anybody who watches my career mode will know, I'm not about to start giving a toss now. But if you are somebody who has a toss to shirt numbers, debate it amongst yourself, because I don't know whether that's the right number or not. Some people are saying it is a new number. Manny Kanian says, I've got some Amrim quotes to come in as well. His number has changed. Loads of people are saying that. Thank you very much. Manny says, I've not been up to date and there seems to be a lot of things to complain about, but we also need to have a little positivity for our own mental health. Exactly. I feel positive today. I think the transfer window has been a real drain. I think last season was a real drain. So I think actually having the thing that we do this for back, football, is exciting. And I want to see a few step forwards today. I have a theory that they kept Bruno for at least another year while someone else comes up as a potential leader, maybe even in Cunha. I'm probably wrong, though, says Payne. In Australia, it's 15 a year, so roughly 150 a month. There we go, Riley. We're having a tour around the world of how much it costs for MUTV where you are. Thank you very much to Gareth, who started it. With Cunha and Mbeumo, will Bruno actually be rested this season, says Jimbo? I doubt it. I can't see Bruno ever getting rested. Jeremiah. Signing players who care, feeling connected again, says Jimbo. Thank you. Right, let's get these quotes from Ruben up. It's effectively his first words publicly of this season because he hasn't given an interview yet. So he says, it's good to be back. It's important for us to understand where we are as a team. Of course, we're going to try different things, try to see players in different positions. And I think that's fine. That is fine. Pre-season is the time to try new things. And I don't think anyone's going to have any issue with that at all. But what I'd also say is that you do have to, in that experiment, it has to work. Like you can't not make it work. You know, you've got to entertain, but you've also got to give us something. He's also said, we are focused on the first game of the season, so we're already playing that game. And to do that, we need to take advantage of any minute of pre-season. Good stuff. He said, what do I expect from Cunha? Effort. I need to see if he understands the position and if they understand each other. He shouldn't overthink. He needs to do his job. And he said, we must give something to these fans, but our goal is to prepare for the season because these fans want to see Manchester United succeed. So, look, a mixture of words from Amrim covering all bases, as you would expect from any Manchester United manager. Effectively, what he's saying is, I'm going to try a few things out. And whilst winning in pre-season's nice, we're really just focused on the Premier League season. So I have to figure things out. And I'm on board with that, of course. You know, Obi could score 6 goals in pre-season. You start him against Arsenal, gets swallowed up by Gabriel and Saliba and never gets a touch, and you go, shit, we need a striker. So, yeah, you pre-season Pirlos can happen as well. But I think the most important thing here is that we actually see players that understand the system. It was Amrim himself who said that this is the worst ever Man United side. It was Sir Jim Radcliffe in March who basically said he's doing a good job, Amrim, with the players that he's got. And yet here we are in July with the same players. So this is going to be really interesting. These same players that weren't good enough last year, can they do it this year? And I think that's going to be the interesting thing, really. Somebody said we've had an Ornstein bomber. It's probably Gyökeres or Ekitike, isn't it, if we have had one. Barcelona advancing on deal to sign Rashford from Man United. Offer via intermediaries loan option plus buy option. Man United have agreed, not done, but final stages. Flick approves 27-year-old England international. Mate, can I just shout out here? Right, I am going to blow the doors off here. Well done from David Ornstein. This is absolutely really, really good. But I don't know how Romano's missed this because I've played the game, right? And I am going to shout out the stuff that we do as a channel year after year when it comes to assessing and following transfer stuff. So David Ornstein has basically just said that Barcelona are advancing on a deal for Marcus Rashford and that Flick has given the go-ahead, right? Mate Moretto this morning retweeted a post from Managing Barca from the 10th of July saying Hansi Flick has given the green light to sign Marcus Rashford So that was 5 hours ago that Mate Moretto retweeted that. I mentioned it on the morning show and said, he's quite good, and why is he retweeting that? So I think that he deserves a bit of a shout out as well. Obviously, Ornstein will always get it, but I think that Matteo Moretto does deserve a shout out, because I saw that this morning and I mentioned it on the morning show and I thought, oh, I wonder what that's all about. And I did expect Fabrizio to say something about it, but Ornstein obviously has gone and got it. And as Mark Roberts says, Ornstein is the man now. But look, Ornstein will take the credit. Of course, he's got more detail, but Matteo Moretto did tweet that this morning about Hansi Flick and green light and everything. So it's looking good. Look, we've got a bit of time. The game has been delayed by 10 minutes. So loan and obligation to buy. I think this is a real positive for United. I really do. I know some people feel that Rashford doesn't deserve it. I think that's a little bit unfair, because I think that's just bitter, and I'm not really like that when it comes to players that are leaving the club. I think you've got a right to go and do something else. And I actually think that if he does well at Barcelona, I think people get scared, don't they? If he does well at Barcelona, it's like, oh, it's one up to it's one up for Rashford. I don't think anybody ever said Rashford was a bad player at all. Let me just send this message. Let me go back to this anyway from David Ornstein. I just want to read it out in its entirety. So, in the last few minutes, Barcelona advancing on deal to sign Rashford from Manchester United. Offer the intermediaries loan plus buy option. Man United have agreed, not done, but final stages. Flick approves 27-year-old England international. Suits Barcelona on football/financial level. I mean, this is a big advancement here. This is great news. It's great that Barcelona are advancing quick, and then this is really positive. I had missed the bit where he said not done but final stages. So yeah, this is really good, because I was worried, and I even mentioned it this morning, that Barcelona financially could wait till the end of the month, end of next month, and also could be waiting to see what happens with Diaz or Nkunku. So the fact that they're advancing on this deal is really good. I think he'll do well at Barcelona, and I think it's a dream move for him. I think he'll do well at Barcelona, and it's a dream move for us. I mean, I don't see a huge issue with this at all. It's a step up for him. I mean, he's going to one of the biggest clubs in the world and La Liga champions. So I think it's a really good move for Rashford. And most of us don't want him at Man United anymore, so we can't be picky about where he goes. It's the same with Garnacho. If somebody in the Premier League comes and offers the money, you can't then go, you're not going. We have to just move on. I'll be very interested to know what the terms of the loan are, because as we know, we've had our fingers burnt with Sancho. I don't trust obligation to buy for very good reasons. But look, despite the morons you get on social media who support players more than they support the club, I've never, ever had an issue with Rashford on a personal level. He was one of my favourite players with Martial. I think he's wasted his opportunity at Manchester United. I think he should have broken Wayne Rooney's goal record and gone down as a Man United legend. Why that's not happened, he will have his own reasons. But it's not going to happen. And the last 18 months have been poor. And the last 8 months have been regretful. So, I mean, look, you go back to that night out in Belfast as well. It's just been a bad 18 months. And he needs a fresh start, a fresh challenge. And we need to close the door on Marcus Rashford. And I find that really exciting. I'm sorry. I find it really exciting. And it's really exciting to see what he's going to do at Barcelona. And it's really exciting for us to be able to close the door on him. And not in a bad way. Like, I hope he goes to Barcelona and does well. Because if he's on loan, I don't trust the obligation to buy. So if he's on loan, I want him to do well. And a motivated Rashford doing well at Barcelona, you know you're going to get rid of him next summer, even if Barcelona don't want him. So I want him to do well. I'm really glad he's not going to be part of our future. And this is how it should be. You should part ways. So very, very good. Option to it's not an obligation to buy anyway. It's a buy option actually. Just reading it again. Loan plus buy option. Yeah. Well, look, we'll still be paying some of his wages as well. But I mean, look, I can't be a hypocrite here. Some people are going to be talking about this and saying, you know, why are we letting them have him on loan? What else are we going to do? What else are we going to do in this situation? Like, what else can we do? I genuinely don't think we can do anything else. I don't think that we can loan him. I don't think we can sell him. I don't think Barcelona are going to buy him. And with all due respect, I would also say that there is an element of player power here as well, because you've got Rashford who only wants to go to Barcelona. So if that is the case, that he only wants to go to Barcelona, where are you going to sell him to? Because Barcelona ain't going to buy him. So I said this a few days ago. You've got to do what's best for you now in the situation that you have. And in the situation we have, he wants to go to Barcelona. Barcelona won't buy him. They'll only loan him. So do the deal. It's not going to change in 6 weeks, is it? He's turning up at Carrington. He's in the way. He's not getting a pre-season. Get him to Barcelona. Get some of the wages covered. Hope that he does well there because he's motivated. And in a year's time, hopefully they buy him. And if they don't, someone else does. And a year of his contract's gone. So I think it's the best deal. And we just need to move on really, really quickly. And hopefully Garnacho will be following suit. Brian Big Pickers, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. He'll just run down his contract with these loans, says Tao. Well, maybe he will do. Maybe that's what will happen. People need to just go back to the 14-15 pre-season if they put any real weight on results during a pre-season, especially at the start of it, says Lith. Apparently, Barca tried to get Nico Williams to ditch his agent, who has been there for him and his family for years, and Nico decided the deal is off. Hopefully, they will sign Rashford, says Perk. Who would not take a free Rashford? He is coming back at the end of the season, says Week. Oh, talking out your arse, mate. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford outlasted Amorim. If Rashford goes to Barcelona and does well, and Amorim has a bad season at Man United and gets sacked, Rashford could be back next year. Definitely. But for now, it's not a problem that we need to think about. Mark, off topic. Just a reminder, this is Man United against Leeds pre-season watch-along. And it's been delayed by about 10 minutes, as I understand. Yeah, they're still having a chat and having a run around. So, yeah, I will tell you when that changes. Off topic, what do you think of Rooney, Barcelona's new signing? I haven't really seen a lot of him. Copenhagen, wasn't it? I think we played against them. But, yeah, another signing. I mean, look, are you on Twitter, Mark, says Sam? Now? No, I'm on. No, but I am on Twitter. I've got 1 million followers. Yeah. Mbermo and Watkins. Why? Something happened. Ornstein, yeah. Mbermo and Watkins played together 46 times for Brentford, with Brian scoring 16 and Ollie 26 times during that show. Time, food for thought, says AB. Squirrel, welcome to the Members Club. Nice bit of squirrel. Great to have the watch-alongs back with all you good people, says Matthias. It's good to be back. Sam says you're a legend. Was really ill for a few days, but you kept me sane when I was stuck in bed. Feeling great now, though. Cheers, Mark and United Stand. Good to see you back and feeling healthy, Sam. Mark, what type of profile is Leon and where do you see him fitting in the squad? So relieved to see Dillit back. Matt, you and me and most of us have got no idea what Leon's all about, and I'm not going to pretend to because I haven't watched the league that he came from. This is total scouting, and we're about to scout him together. So I don't know what to expect. I know he's done well in training. Let's see what he can do. He's obviously starting. It is about 500 a year in India, MUTV, says Sahil. Happy 27 months, Mark. £30 is ridiculous for MUTV, in my opinion. I much preferred it when I could just buy it for the month. Excited to see the team, says Locke. Thank you very much for that. Where can I watch the game for free? I don't know. I hope Rashford will do at least decent in Barca. If Barca won't trigger the option to buy, it will make him accept offer from other clubs. Best case, we get big offer from Saudi, says Gandos. I do hope Rashford tears up La Liga because even if Barca don't buy him, his value increases. Win-win. Exactly, Gandos. I mean, he's got to get in the team first. I mean, they've got Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski. So, but look, there's so many games for Barcelona. There's injuries. There's rotation. There's really crap teams in the bottom half. I think he'll tear it up. I really do. I think it's a different type of football, and he won't need to track back. I do hope Rashford tears it up, says JR. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay. Kone to stay at Man United for the season. How apparent now? Apparently due to staff being impressed, as Robert Taylor. Yeah, we spoke about that at the start. Hopefully we'll get to see him in the second half as well. Leon in the first half. We're only 150 subscribers away from hitting 120,000 subscribers. So please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner. Thank you everybody who's getting involved, and very much welcome to the show. And thanks for all your follows as well. Kian Reid. Appreciate that. Cunha is starting. Yes, the starting lineup for Manchester United is Binder in goal, Mazraoui, Dillit and Luke Shaw as the three centre-backs, Leon and Ahmad as the wing-backs, Toby Collier and Casemiro as the holding midfielders, Bruno at 10 with Cunha, and then Obi is up front. So that's Man United's lineup. I'm not going to go through Leeds because I don't know anything about them, but apparently they've gone with quite a strong team. Although Dan James isn't starting, but I don't know whether he started before. Why are we selling, loaning our best players and buying mid-table players, says Ahmad. Stop being a hater, Ahmad. No one's going to react to you. I'm certainly not. This is not on Sky. It is on MUTV. Where do you think United will finish, says Caleb? I can't answer that question at the moment. I wouldn't put us in the top four. Certainly wouldn't put us in the top four. I think that's a very, very difficult thing to do. But I would hope that maybe fifth. Maybe we can do that. Maybe that's a possibility. It's going to be hard. I mean, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City are going to run away with top four anyway. But Villa are playing Thursday night football. And I also think as well with Villa, they haven't had a great summer transfer window. If I was Aston Villa, and this is just completely and utterly mercenary, I would forego the Premier League and focus on the Europa League because you get in the Champions League. And if Spurs and Man United can get to the final of the Europa League when we're rubbish, imagine what Villa can do. So if I was Villa, I'd be focused on the Europa League, which might mean fifth is open. Newcastle are in the Champions League. They can't buy players at the moment. They're not getting the players they want, so they could be vulnerable. Spurs, first season under Frank. So fifth place might be possible for United. It's going to be very difficult. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, you need players like Cunha, etc., to really settle in, don't you? And, you know, you need them to, you know, that's why pre-season is really important, because we need to have a good start to the season. We need to play good football. And that is the opportunity we have in front of us now. Can you show us the game live? No, I can't. That would be wrong and illegal. So, no, I can't. We should have kicked off by now, but we haven't because there's a 10-minute delay. So, it is 2 o'clock kickoff, but it's been delayed by 10. Dan Turner's a Leeds fan. Look, I'm interested. Like, I'm not. I don't know anything about Leeds anymore. I don't really know anything about your team. I can't assess you. I think you will come. I think you will get relegated, of course, because I think Sunderland and Burnley will as well. I think Sunderland have bought really well, but I still think they'll go down. But I do think that when we're looking at Leeds, I'm really interested to see how they're going to approach this game in relation to the competitive nature of it. Like, there is a rivalry there. Are they going to be tasty in the tackle? Because I don't want to pick up any injuries, but I also want to see a good game. Cam says, I think Leeds is going to be us in 10 years, falling from grace. Hopefully not. Footy King says, appreciate all your work, Mark and the crew. Excited to see Cunha and intrigued by Leon at left wing back. See how he does, says Footy King. I'm actually, you know what? I'm standing up. I'm going to stand up. I don't know where I'm going to put my chair. The room's a tip at the moment. Yeah, gotta find. There we go. We're back. Watchalongs are back. I'm actually standing up, which is great. So we're back. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Ornstein Bomber. Unless it's a new one. No, I mean, that's terrible. You should be ashamed. Do you think that, somebody just said, do you think Rashford's done it on purpose because it's United's first game of the season and he just wants to take our thunder? I don't know. I don't know. You don't know where Ornstein's getting the information. He could be getting it from Rashford. He could be getting it from Barca. He could be getting it from the club. Fabrizio says, Barcelona have made direct contact with Man United for Rashford. Talks are ongoing for loan move with buy option. Deal on between the two clubs. Rashford already said yes to Barcelona move since January. He dreams of Barcelona. So, yeah. Voice delayed. Every time I stand up, it does this. Sorry, I can sort this out. One day, I will figure this out. I don't know why it does it. As soon as I put the stand-up desk on, it does this every time. It'll fix itself now. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know why it does it. As soon as I put the stand-up desk on, I mean, none of the cables stretch or anything, but it suddenly does do this out of sync thing. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. I ain't got time to figure it out now, but there's not. The thing is, there's nothing that's actually stretching it either. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Just realised we won't be having any fancy Merlot wine streams without European football. Sad football noises, says Angry Brit. Well, you never know. You never know. We might have a good league run. Why is Bruno playing in the 10 and not in the pivot, says David. I don't know. God, when are the players going to come out then? It's 2:05 now. Still not out on the pitch. QVC must be sponsoring MUTV today, says Paul. I don't get it. Why is Bruno at 10? Done that. Can't see Delo pushing Ahmad out, says Kenzo. Thank you, Jordan. Hi, Mark. Score prediction. Love from Australia. What brand is your seating standing desk, please? Standing desk is Secret Lab. And so is the chair. Although it is all about to change. It is all about to change. Hi, UK Goldbridge. This border a joke. It's only taken them 4 years to realise Rangnick was right with player suggestions, says Dark Mike. Sam, thank you very much for joining the Members Club. Robert McCormack's Barcelona's finally got their man. Sad day. You've got to go and get a Barcelona shirt now, but Robert. Footy King says, I'm excited to see Cunha have done that one as well. Yeah, so we were meant to kick off at 2 o'clock. We're just waiting for the players to come back. Thanks for all the follows. Rashford to Barcelona. There's a lot breaking, but it's not actually new news because we did speak about it about 15 minutes ago when Ornstein broke it, that there are advanced talks taking place between Barcelona and Marcus Rashford. Fabrizio says that Barcelona have sent an official bid in the morning to Man United for Rashford. Internal meeting took place in the last 24 hours as Luis Diaz deal considered too expensive, plus Barca convinced to go for Rashford. Deal well underway and approved by Hansi Flick. So, look, positive. Mbeumo yesterday, Rashford out today. I think this is great. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and give us a follow. Jake Shawcross, thanks for joining the Members Club. Really appreciate that. It's only an option to buy. This is even worse than Sancho, says Dale. Yeah, but it's the best we're going to get. He was never going to get sold. So you take what you can get. Mark, come to New Jersey next weekend. Champers, says Brandon. I wish I bloody could, mate. At the end of the day, Scooby-Doo, says Jay. Thank you very much, Jay. Are the players coming out onto the pitch? Yes, they are. Yes, the players are coming out onto the pitch, which means I need to get this timer sorted as well. Should have got that ready a long time ago. Let me turn that off. Where is my bloody timer? Well, I don't want it like that. I don't want it like that. So, arise, Lord Vader. Filters. There we go. That should work. Okay, it's not in the right position. Unlock. Why are you doing that, idiot? Okay, there we go. Yeah, players are coming out onto the pitch. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one because Leeds are playing in blue and Man United are playing in white. This game never should be played in these colours, but Man United have got a kit to sell. So we're playing in white because we've got a new kit, away kit, which is white. It should be red United against white Leeds, but commercialism is we need to sell shirts. And you know what? If that's going to buy us a decent striker, wear white. It's all right. Thank you very much. Right, I just need to get this stats carousel running around and then we're up and running. There we go. There's the Leeds team. Lovely stuff. It's all there. It's all there for you today on your nightstand. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Appreciate it. I want to see some passion. I want to see some energy. I want to see some crunching tackles. I want to see some hammering ball. There's 3 things I want to take away from here. I want to see system. I want to see chances. And I also want to see... What else do I want to see? Good football. Yeah. I want to see the system, people understanding the system. I want to see chances created, and I want to see us playing some good football. Is this Luke Shaw's last game for 6? I'll tell you what, this is a nice stadium. Talk to me about it, everybody. This is a nice stadium. What's it all about? It's in Sweden. Is it, whose is it? Is it your national stadium? You know, Geography Bridge. Champers. Let us know. Martin Shaw, thanks for the follow. Riley, thanks for the follow. Elias says he's at the match. Thank you very much. Sean Nutt, thanks for the follow as well. It's in Stockholm and it's AIK and the National Stadium. Thank you very much for that. Matthias says, you're asking for too much, Mark, considering the players. Well, look, we need to see... I'm going to have to change my picture at the back. Sorry, Beth, Danny, Ricky, you're going down. It shines a light. Back to definitely maybe, if you're off to see Oasis. Prediction, I'm going to say Manchester United 2-0. Yeah, I think Leeds are going to struggle to score goals this season. So, yeah. Kickoff was meant to be at 2 o'clock. It's going to be more like 2:15 now because of the delays. But I will get the timer up and running and I'll tell you when we're up and running. Thanks for all the follows. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Really appreciate that. Just want to say as well, we've had 5 memberships gifted by Angry Brit. What an absolute legend. Pampers for the Ops. Come on, United stands. His house jacket. Thank you very much. United not the only ones getting option C, says Noah. Hope you and the family are well, mate, says Jake. They 100% delayed the match to make us watch 10 minutes of adverts for the new kit. Thanks for the updates. Do you think Casemiro will work better with Collier or Mainu, says Shaunik. Oh, I mean, look, Casemiro. MUT coverage sponsored by a shopping channel, says Paul. Colin Bolger is gifted a membership. We're up and running here. They start. What a bunch of twats. It's only an option to buy. This is even worse than Sancho, says Dale. What a bunch of twats. Like, they've started the game, but they were showing this long view camera for ages, and then suddenly went, oh, we've started. Don't worry, I'll get it sorted. So we are... There we go. 30 seconds in. 30 seconds in. So Luke Shaw playing left centre back. Binder in goal. Oh God, depresses me. The goalkeeping thing is going to be. I just want to apologise to everybody. The goalkeeper thing is going to be an irritant for me already, and Onana's not even in goal. But Binder annoys me just as much. Camera may as well be in bloody Manchester, by the way. Can I just take back what I said about this stadium? I mean, I ain't got a bloody clue who these players are. They're like ants. There's Cunha. The camera's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. The game's in Stockholm, but the camera's in Malmo. I could be watching ABBA. I mean, what is this? It's 0-0 at the moment. 1 minute in. The camera's miles away. Part of the pitch has got sun on it. Then it's a big shadow. I mean, this is a cameraman's nightmare. Yeah, it is a bloody nightmare. Shadow and sun makes it very difficult anyway. And the camera angle's awful. United interested in Moani, says Aslam. Who says? Leeds booting it long. Good header by De Ligt. Good to have him back. Oh, Casemiro that was, wasn't it? Here's Leeds on the attack. Up against Luke Shaw. Wins a call. Throw in. MUTV streams in 720p. Cunny, thanks for welcome to being a member. James says, hi Mark, personally think we should get Watkins, top Premier League striker, experienced and would leave funds for a goalkeeper, unlike Sesko, who could be 90 million euros. Shampers Mark, says Mr. Shampers. Brandon Edwards, welcome to the Members Club. Douglas Luis, says Reefer. Shampers, thank you very much. Just trying to figure out how high Ahmad's playing here. Oh, it's so hard to see the play. I'm not happy about this. I can't see the bloody players. It's really... Is it just me or is it really difficult? Leeds are in down the right-hand side here. It's got lots of time. They nearly scored as well. I don't know who. I don't know. I think it was it Casemiro who slid in? It must have been Casemiro. Miles off the tackle. Oh my God. They need to get rid of these shadows. Oh, I'm glad it's on Sky next week. Leeds are doing quite well. We all look very lean though, says Yarrow. I told you, shove your George Foreman grill up your arse. Lean my arse. Absolutely irrelevant. I bet Leeds are lean as well. This looks like it's filmed on a Nokia. It's awful, Brandon. Camera one is one of the last unwoke words, says Theodore. Camera person. Linda says, who are we playing next week? Well, I don't know whether it's Bournemouth, West Ham or Everton first. I think it's Bournemouth. Oh, yeah, it's only 720p on MUTV as well. Mate, it's shocking. That was that chance. Mazraoui did well to get rid of it. Thanks everyone who's watching. We've got over 30,000. Nice ball down the left-hand side here. I don't know who that was. Was that Leon? It was Cunha who played the pass. I'm struggling to tell who the players are. Yeah, it was Leon, number 30. The problem is, I can tell you what's happening in the game, but I'm really struggling to tell who the players are because they're just, it's like sensible soccer. They're so pixelated and small. I'm going to start calling, it's like, anyone remember Cannon Fodder? Some of the names from that? Peeps. We'll just say that. $720p they're showing this in on MUTV. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, it's been a good start. Don't know who most of the players are, but it's been a good start. Leeds are moving it around quite nicely as well. Good pace to it. What system do Leeds play then? Do they play a back four? Nice ball by Leeds into the midfield there. Goes wide. Jules, Jops and Stu. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Good shout out, Xylus there. Love that. Michael's gifted 5 memberships as well. You're a legend, sir. A legend. Also, we had a super chat. Love from Sydney. Who is your next preferred? William says, hi Mark, much love from Sydney. Is that your partner or are you actually in Australia? Could be Sydney Sweeney. Who is your next preferred signing? Says Williams. Striker, please. I do want a goalkeeper, though, as well. Thanks for the super chat, pal. I've missed watch-alongs with a side of Goldbridge. Frustration, says Connor. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat, pal. Thanks for the follow, Martial. 0-0 at the moment. We've only had 7 minutes. Man United lining up with Binder in goal. Shaw, De Ligt and Mazraoui as our centre-backs. Leon and Ahmad as wing-backs. And then you've got Collier and Casemiro in the midfield with Bruno and Cunha and Obi as the front three. 720p, Mark. More gym cost-cutting. Champers, says Rocco. I don't know why we're doing 720p. I don't know. Maybe the reception's rubbish. I don't know. Never thought we'd be talking about 720p. All I know is when I go to Centre Parks and I try and do a live stream, it tends to be 720p because the reception's crap. So that's my only experience. Otherwise, you're wired in, it's 1080. Sometimes 4K. Collier plays number 10, what it seems, says Nicholas. Is Obi 17? Yamal made the first team at 16. Do you think we could try him with our new cams? Would love to see it, but yes, we really need a goalkeeper, says Sam. I've said it a couple of times now. I said it on the morning show. I said it on the countdown to this show. Obi could be a solution up front, but we shouldn't expect that. I don't know why they've put Collier as a 10 and Bruno as a 6. That's not, we don't control that. That comes in from the stats provider, so that's got nothing to do with this. Anyone who's moaning about that, we can't change that. That's how they do it. Bruno's definitely not playing as an 8. He's playing as a 10. Aditio says, it's good to see Rashford tracking back. Yeah, this is the problem when you watch it in 720p. You might start imagining things. Better from United there. I already have a valid annual subscription to MUTV, but the damn app still keeps asking me to renew, says Punit. Played by Collier. Goes wide to Leon. Let's have a look at what he's all about then. Leon back into Bruno. Turns, looks for the pass. Casemiro. Is Ahmad out on the right-hand side? Oh, God. I can barely see who's on the right-hand side because it goes in the sun and then it's a white kit in the glaring sun. They're basically invisible. It's miles away. Okay. Come back to the... Play it down the left. At least I can see. It's a good bit of a turn and run there by Cunha. He wants that. That's the transitional pace that you want from Cunha there. Receives it and away. That's what I like about him. Love that from Cunha. That will definitely be something new. We haven't really seen that for a while. The ability to get the ball in the midfield and run at people. I mean, I would say the last midfielder that we had like that was probably Pogba. Nothing happens from the free kick. Wow. Casemiro heads it wide. Collier is playing as the right number 10 mark. I think that's right then, isn't it? I think that actually is right. He's definitely playing as the right number 10 at the moment. But Bruno is pressing forward as well. Thanks for the follow, FF Only and Bulldog. Would you rather Martinez or Costa in net, says Dion? I'd go Costa, I think. Younger. Harry says, I actually hate the way Bruno rolls around. He needs to be positionally disciplined. It's one of my concerns about Ruben, actually. Does he understand in the Premier League that you can't have a midfielder that roams? You've got to have positional discipline. But better last 5 minutes from United. We've actually, Leeds started off quite well, but in the last 5 minutes, we've really took hold of the ball. Do you think Mbeumo will be a similar signing for us as Mane was for Liverpool? A Premier League proven player who does high press and goal control. I hope, Stian, if he's anywhere near what Mane was from Southampton to Liverpool, we'll be very happy. Good play by... Oh no, he's lost it there. Obi. Yeah, we spoke about Rashford. I don't want to speak about Rashford. We're playing, Manchester United are playing here. We're Manchester United with the United stand. Not interested in Rashford. The bid's gone into Barca. We can talk about that later. I'm watching Man United at the moment. Who do you think our player of the season will be, says Sam. Does someone want to answer Sam's question? Because I can't pull answers out my arse, mate. How do I know? Got no idea. I would hope it's going to be Cunha. Could be Rashford at Barcelona. Good pressure by Obi there. Leeds just booting it clear. Good win by Leon. Would you take Dan James to play striker, says Dion? Still 0-0. 15 minutes gone. Nice little 1-2 by Leeds. Oh, he's done well there, but it's a heavy touch. Casemiro might be... I tell you what, Casemiro might be lean, but he ain't bloody fast, is he? This is what I mean. Like, I've said this so many times. Like, people talk about players coming back looking lean. It's not going to stop Luke Shaw getting injured. It's not going to make Casemiro not be slow. Like, they might be lean, but they're not going to be, like... It's not going to give them different attributes. Leeds with the free kick. What's the temperature in Stockholm? I don't know. It's sunny. Nice little ball to the back post. Oh, what are we doing? I was giving a free kick. Don't worry about that. Andrea says, I hate the midfield. Well, it looks like that is the midfield next to me. Bruno and Casemiro with Collier playing as a 10. Ollie Watkins would be perfect, says Hamza. Doesn't seem to be much link between the defence and the midfield again. Huge gaps. I need to compact that. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way, on YouTube. We are only 20 subscribers away from 120,000 subscribers, so please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much for getting involved. Appreciate that. United still knocking the ball about. This is where I have a problem, look. We go wide here. We go to Luke Shaw. Where's the midfield? See, look at the space. We're not close enough to that ball, and then Leeds win it back. We win it back. Stretch of the play. Let's see what we can do. It's with Ahmad out on the right-hand side. And he's tackled. But we win the throw-in. Yeah, I think there's a lot of space in that midfield, and I don't really know whether that's to do with us playing Bruno in there and he's wandering too far forward. I mean, Collier as a 10 is a strange one. I didn't believe it till I saw it, but it is true. I'm in Stockholm and it's 25 degrees, says Sam. Oh, thank you very much, Sam. Thanks for the update on the weather. I did ask. Ollie Watkins would be perfect, says Hamza. Off to Milan for a holiday next week, says Ross. Would you sign anyone from Inter or AC Milan? Would love to be getting on a plane and some transfer news breaks. There's Musa. I expected him to end up being good. I don't think he is. Would you take... done that one. Appreciate that. Thanks for your super chats. Garnacho swap deal with Watkins, Mark, says Hamza. I don't know. I don't think many swap deals happen anymore. I do worry about Agate. Not really had a sniff since he joined, and this is with Amrim coming in. Agate supposedly knows the system, but still can't get in the team, says Azor. Probably lining up like this because it will be a straight swap from Collier to Mbeumo in the future, says Fearless. ESPN panel already with Amrim out, says DV. Thanks for the roses, Alexandra. Andrew Pooh. Scooby-Doo, thanks for the follow. Nicholas has gifted a membership as well. Leeds are doing all right now. Playing with a bit of confidence. Trish says, Collier is playing as a 10 because Bruno is not going to play there and Mbeumo not here yet. Yeah, but I actually did think we might just play Collier next to Casemiro and play Bruno as a 10 because actually that suits him. Collier playing out of position. Lovely play by Nonto. We could have played Mount. Definitely a very equal 20 minutes here. What's the frequency? Can at the shop, it's the same. That's going to go through to Binder. I feel like we need to compact the midfield a little bit, like bring the team closer together. We seem to be very Ten Hag here. There seems to be a vast amount of space between our defence and our front line, which will encourage long balls. Yeah, and there is a long ball. Why do you think that is? Why do you think, like, Ten Hag didn't play long ball at Ajax and he comes to United and he starts playing long ball? Amrim didn't play long ball at Sporting, but he comes to Man United and he starts playing long ball. There seems to be a massive gap between defence and attack. And we've been like this for years. I just think we should play more compact. But then again, if you play more compact, you rely on first touch and passing, and maybe we just don't have the players for it. So you bypass the midfield. Who would you rather sign, Mateta or Watkins, says Mitchell? It's close, actually, with those two. I suppose it depends on the price. If the price is the same, I think I'd take Watkins. Leeds on the attack again here. Still bothers me that we could have sold Bruno, says Love Hate Games. Don't like him in the midfield. I mean, he's literally in the midfield again, next to Casemiro, and I just don't like it. I think it makes us too easy to give up the play. De Ligt looks knackered already. Oh no, I think it's because the ball hit him in the chest. Thanks for the follow, Alan Gordon. I Love Cunha says, I'm fuming if they lose to Leeds. I never understood. Casemiro and Bruno are too slow. Drift apart, leaving holes. Yeah, well, you can see it already. See it again already. It's just not going to work. I mean, look, I'm not going to start predicting the season after 20 minutes of pre-season, but Casemiro and Bruno we saw a lot of last season. It won't work. It won't work. And if that's what we're betting the farm on, we spoke about this when we said about the £100 million from Al Hilal. If you're going to use Bruno as a 10, fine. If you're going to stick him in your midfield and build your team around him and not take the 100 million, that ultimately could end up being a very, very scrutinised mistake. And you know what? We did it at the time. Like, the polls of United fans at the time, not just on here and everywhere else, was it got as high as 80% saying take the money. Goldbridge already worried. I was always, you know, I know it feels like a million years ago. It was actually the start of June, wasn't it? But I was worried at the time. You know, if we're going to go with this midfield, I was worried about it. Casemiro hasn't got the mobility, no matter how lean he is. And Bruno hasn't got the discipline. But to be fair to Bruno, he's not a bloody midfielder. Only reason I can think of for Bruno in midfield is that he's our best distributor of the ball, says Williams. Don't worry about the long balls, guys. We're lean and that's all that matters, says Angry Brit. We will regret not selling Bruno for a midfielder, says Luke. Will Ferrell. United will be getting related. Still can't get out of their own third. No rotations and no clue how to pass through the thirds quickly. Same old problems as making the grade. Just having a drinks break here. Yeah, let us know your thoughts. I know it's pre-season, says Dib, but there's no change. Well, look, I wrote 3 things down at the start of the game that I wanted to see. System, working, chances created, and good football. We failed on all 3 in the first 20 minutes because we're not playing the system. We're bypassing in the midfield and we're stretched from defence to attack. We're not creating chances. We've created none. And we're not playing good football. And what I would add to the Bruno debate as well is, if he's your best player and he's your best distributor, why would you put him in the midfield? Because you're bypassing the midfield. So Cunha's going to struggle in this team as well. How's he going to get the ball into feet? We need to solve this midfield problem very, very quickly. It's too static. It needs mobility. And look, I'm not saying they're solutions, but when Ten Hag was here a year ago, we presumed that it would be Mainu and Agate. I would like to see an improved Mainu and a potential Agate over a Casemiro and a Bruno, but maybe they're not up to it. Please call me handsome, Pratt, says Nelson. It's my birthday. Champers. Mr. J. Lopez, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. Got the players for split strikers with Bruno behind. Connection between midfield and attack, says Eamon McAllister. Well, Collier playing as a number 10 is just, yeah. It's a strange one, that. I'd shift it. I think we have shifted it, haven't we? Can't see where Collier is now. Bruno seems to be very high up. Where is Collier? I can't see him. Has he took him? Have we made a sub already? I know it's pre-season, but they just can't seem to be arsed, says Crying Scotsman. Commentators on ESPN are crap, and so are the pundits, says Michael. Odds of Shaw getting through pre-season uninjured, says Andreas. Well, I think odds of Luke Shaw getting through a day without getting injured is always a big thing. So what, Luke Shaw was meant to be lean. Doesn't look lean to me. Looks the same. Just me, or does Bienda have a really weird kick, says Matthew. It ain't great. It ain't great. Bruno can't even play simple passes, says Anil. Passes to feet without losing the ball every time. When do we start looking at this manager, says Tom? Well, we don't start looking at the manager 25 minutes into pre-season when he's only had 1 signing and no one's been sold. I don't think we start looking at that yet. I mean, this is what concerns me, is that we need a goalkeeper, we need a striker, and we need a midfielder, and it will suddenly become the manager's fault very, very quickly. But we did predict that. Can't see shite. Is that Sir Dennis Law out there, says Brandon. I'm out a little bit late on the keeper. Sesko in, deal including Rasmus. What would you think, Mark, says Carl. I don't know. Would Leipzig be open to that? I like Amrin, but he has a blind spot when it comes to playing Bruno in the pivot, and it will cost us. Should have got a proper midfielder, not 210, says Ian Tracy. I mean, I think, Ian, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. We haven't brought in either of our two priority positions, goalkeeper and striker. We've brought two number 10s in, turned down 100 million to keep Bruno in the midfield. That to me, you know. And Mbeumo, Cunha and Obi could be lethal, says Sam. I was about to say the same. Agate brings more tenacity in that role than either Bruno or Casemiro. Manu needs to start replacing Bruno more and more, says someone. Ahmad has not really been in the game, says Mac. Well, this is a great point from Mac about Ahmad. If you put Ahmad out on the right-hand side, he won't be in the game. And will he be happy with that role? Selling Bruno would have been as disastrous to our prospects, if not more, than Sir Alex retiring, says Doylers. He was the glue that held us together last year. We were broken last year, mate. Did you not see the Europa League final? We lost. What you're basically saying is we might have been relegated without Bruno, but we were shit with him. Like, I understand the point. Maybe we would have been relegated without Bruno, but we were shit with him as well. Like, Leeds are on the attack. Cross comes in, overhit. I understand the feeling, but start the league. I really hope we don't hear all this. We should have sold Bruno. Really need to concentrate going forward, says SK. Well, I agree with you, SK. I don't want to see we should have sold Bruno. We should have sold Bruno, but ultimately, if we're shit in the midfield at the start of the season, then people are going to say it. Of course they are. Should have been a foul on Cunha there. Nearly 40,000 watching. Please do share the video. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks for the follow, Hayden. Appreciate it. Just not getting hold of the midfield again, are we? We wouldn't have got to the final without Bruno. This is not turning into a Bruno show. He's crap in the midfield. That's my opinion. I'd rather he played at number 10. I don't like him in the midfield. But I like Bruno. I don't think he's useless. I think he's our best player. First shot there. It was Obi. Not really much on it, but forced to save from an angle. Second ball picked up. Going for another shot there. I'm struggling to see who's who here. It really is difficult. Especially when you've got Leon and Cunha, 10 and 20, with similar builds. It's really difficult to tell. That's definitely Luke Shaw. Couldn't miss him. Bruno. And there's a Leeds player down now. China really, Cunha looks really good this far. I can't wait for him and Mbeumo to get a solid report. They are going to be a dynamic Juno, says Z3 Music Official. Thank you very much. So this was a header by Bruno. And Cunha pushed a player into the goalkeeper. So he got injured. Our goalkeeper gets more touches than our whole midfield, says Mr. Scally. Yeah, it was a strange shoot, angle to shoot from Obi, but it was a good hit. Showed a bit of confidence anyway. Scammerim doing what Scammerim does, says Mooney. Marlowe says it's only pre-season, but zero. Sorry, let me get this back. It's only pre-season match, says Marlowe. But 0 shots on target and Leeds being miles better in everything they do is embarrassing. Same old rubbish. But I wouldn't say they're miles better. I'd say it's quite an equal game, to be fair. I'll look at the Moani. We've got an 8 o'clock show tonight. I'll look into that Moani stuff later. Obviously, we know Rashford and Barcelona is advanced. There's a little bit about Sancho and Juventus as well. Nice ball down the right-hand side here. Good coverage by Cunha. De Ligt. Wake up, Luke! Bloody hell. What's all that about there? Bloody De Ligt wins the ball and he just stands there and lets a Leeds player come and get it. Darlow, Roden, Ampadu, James can't even beat Wales FC, says Matthew H. Oh, this is lovely play by Leeds. Unlucky with the final pass. Carved through us there. Really good play. Luke, sleep, says Marcus. He's off the pace, Luke, sure. It was him who got mugged off there. People questioning Amram already. What a joke, says Mark Holder. My brother Lee likes Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield, says Mike. Hey, good. You go for it, Lee. Lucius Lee, thank you very much for your follow. The score is 0-0 at the moment. Right, a bit of space here on the right-hand side. And I think it was Collier who fed Ahmad, and it was a bit of a... I can't see. Even on that, I can't see who that is who plays the pass. It's Ahmad with the shot. I think, was it Collier? That's terrible. We are watching this in 720p from a camera that's not in Stockholm. I think it's in, like, Norway. Definitely Ahmad with the shot, but I think it was Collier who played the pass in. Oh, lovely turn there. We didn't turn 100 million down. Bruno didn't want to go, says Rob. Well, that's why it took 2.5 weeks thinking about it, is it? If we'd have said, we want you to go, he would have gone. He basically said that, didn't he? But he didn't, and we didn't. And you've just got to, you know, roll with it. Why is Collier at right wing back position? Because, well, he's probably moved, Jim. He was playing as a 10. Yeah, it's not actually that's not a bad idea if we've done that. Put Ahmad back in at the 10 position and get him involved in the game, I would agree. Looks like Ahmad at 10, Collier wing back and Bruno centre mid, says Patrick. Yeah, that's a recent change. That wasn't like that for the first 25. Ahmad was definitely playing right wing back. So he moved there about 10 minutes ago, says Soapy. Yeah, mate, you can laugh all you like. I've got glasses on, I can't bloody tell who these players are. I've got it on a big screen, but I just can't tell the players most of the time. It's really hard. There's only about 3 players I definitely know when they get the ball. Obi, Luke Shaw and De Ligt. Sam says, last year I rescued a very ill cat and honestly he's the sweetest cat I've ever had. When I was in bed, he laid next to me for 23 hours a day. Thanks, Sam. Ahmad wasted at wing back anyway, says Robert McCormack. Well, that might be where he will be. Sign a centre midfielder, play Cunha at 9, Bruno Mbeumo behind, says Medic. He ain't going to do that though, is he? He obviously likes Bruno in that 8, and we've not figured it out why yet. Hopefully we will. I'm going to say something to you now that's tactically aware. And I said it a few times last year. And I'm not going to ask anybody to guess it because you can't. You won't be able to. This system's too defensive still. It's still a back 5. We're not conceding chances because it's actually a very defensive system. And he did this last year. Like it's still quite. It's set up very defensively still. So we don't concede chances, but we don't really create chances. What are your thoughts? It's hard to watch. It's not entertaining, honestly, is my thought. But it's pre-season and it can get better. But pre-season is the pre-season he needs. I don't expect us to be playing with a back 5, missing the midfield and hitting long balls. I would hope that will change by the time we start the season, because otherwise we're playing the same as we did last year and he'll be gone. He'll be gone very, very quickly. So this is very similar to last season. That's fine. It's the first game of pre-season. But we've got to start to see something. We've got to see something different. And at the moment, it's very much the same. But there are still. If I'm being honest, this is part of the frustration of the last 6 weeks. How are you going to argue with it being the same when it's the same bloody players? Like, where was the accountability or consequences of last season? None. Bruno needs a Kante next to him to work as a midfielder, says Jack. Yeah, I mean, Casemiro can be lean. He ain't going to be mobile. What if the system never works? What's the plan? That's scary, says Mohammed. Well, he'll lose his job. Ahmed seems to not have a place once Mbeumo arrives, says Mario Franco. He will do. I think he'll be a right wing back, mate. What's your thoughts on Dorgu? Do you have faith in his development? I do, Luke. I think he's going to have a good season. Yeah. Sanel says the system will never work no matter who we sign, but you can't say the system's not going to work when you're using the same players from last year. This is the whole point. We've had one player, and he's probably been the best player. Well done by Bruno. Cunha gets tackled, but we've won it back. And we've won it back again. Shaw is killing us. He can't start the season, says Brandon. Yeah, I think the worrying thing about Luke Shaw since he came back from this long injury this time is he just doesn't look like he doesn't look like the player he used to be either. I mean, he used to be a decent player that always got injured, whereas now I think he's lovely ball. This could be something. Oh, just wide. Obi and Cunha was ready to hit. He's a striker, Cunha. His job is to shoot. I don't think you can blame him for having a shot there. He is the number 9. Good ball by Ahmad. Obi's on the turn. It's half a dozen, 50-50 that. Cunha wanted to hit it, but Obi hit it off his left. Probably our best chance, really. I mean, positives. We defended. We defended okay. Like, we haven't looked like conceding chances. Defensively, I think Delit and Mazraoui have been good. Leon's been steady. Luke Shaw's looks a bit of a liability. Casemiro's done okay, just looks a little bit slow. Bruno's done okay, just don't think he's a number 8. Cunha's been the most impressive player. Collier's not really been in the game. Ahmad's come into the game since we moved him to 10. And Obi, on very limited, has done quite well. But a very equal game, I would say. Nice ball by Bruno into Ahmad. This is where he likes it. And he wins a free kick, surely. Following up to your answer, he'll lose his job. Then what is the plan? Bring new manager, then new players, then new system. If that's it, very depressing, says Mohammed. But if the system doesn't work, he will get the sack, like any other manager does. And then, yeah, we will be back on the cycle, yes. But this is why many of us have sat here for the last 6 weeks saying, you gave this guy the job, the team doesn't suit the player, the manager, and you're giving him one player. It's not enough, and you've sold nobody. Are we sacrificing the system for Bruno? We're not solid enough in the midfield defensively, therefore the wide players can't get forward. Ahmad out of the game, says Matt Hall. I think we'd be a better team with Mainu and Agate in the midfield playing at their limit. I don't think Casemiro and Bruno works, and if we're going to do that against Arsenal, I'd worry against the likes of Zubimendi, Rice and Odegaard. Midfield's the most important area of the pitch, and it looks a concern at the moment. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 120k on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for all the follows as well. We're level with Leeds at the moment. Yes, 45 minutes gone. And have a sit down in a minute. I feel like I sit down, a cup of tea and have a sleep. "45 minutes. Into the box. No. Oh, it's the bar from the cross. And a mistake on the back post. Goes for a goal kick. I think it might have took a bit of a deflection from Casemiro there. We should see a completely different team in the second half, by the way. So, remember in pre-season, you basically deflected off Casemiro's cross up onto the bar. Would have been a bit fortuitous, but we'd have took it. But it goes off the bar. Yeah, so we should see a completely different team in the second half because that's what pre-season's all about. So this lot will be judged on this 45 minutes. But second half, I'm hoping we see Mainu and Agate. That's why I keep mentioning it. I'm hoping in the second half we see Mainu and Agate and we'll see a different team. Right, I'm going to have a sit down now. Give us your thoughts then. It's half time. Oh. I think I missed a few super chats as well, but I will catch up on them at half time as well. So, 0-0 at half time. There's the stats on the screen. Let's just pause those for a moment. Or we'll come back to it actually when it's there. That's absolutely fine. Okay. They've had more possession than us, but they've had no shots. We've only had one shot on target. As I said, I think there's a really obvious assessment of this Manchester United side. And look, we're only 45 minutes into pre-season game 1. We've got 4 more games after this before we even play Arsenal. So, of course, there's opportunity to be progressive and improve. You would hope that's going to happen. But what I will say is this. I would like to see the 3 things we were talking about on the preview on Thursday and before this game. I want to see the system look better. I want to see us create more chances. And I want to see us play good football. And we have had 2 weeks of pre-season training. Where is the movement? Like, all these players have been together for 2 weeks. We didn't sign Cunha on Thursday. So where is the movement? Where is the passing? Where is the intensity? Why have we got a big gap between defence and attack? Why is it a back 5 again? Why is the midfield not working? And there's a few things there that need to be ironed out. I would expect this system for our wing-backs to be playing as wingers because we've got 3 centre-backs. I would expect us to be far more compact with a higher defensive line with our attack. I would expect triangles to be possible. and I'm looking at us, and the long diagonal is on all the bloody time because we're stretching the pitch. I don't know why we're stretching the pitch. We've got Cunha, who's good with ball at his feet. We've got Bruno, who wants ball to feet. It's a little bit confusing for me again, and it's very similar to last season. But I'm hoping in the second half, a lot of it comes down to the midfield, and if we get Agate and Mainu on, we might see a different Manchester United. That's my thoughts. Too rigid, no movement, says Azam. I know it's the first pre-season game, but still looks the same, says John. I think that's a fair assessment. But also, shout out to you lot. We've been talking about this on the 8 o'clock shows all week. When we're looking at Liverpool doing all this business, and Arsenal doing all this business, and Chelsea doing all this business, and Man City doing all this business, when we're looking at all that, it's not just because of jealousy. It is because of that, but it's also because we've still got the same squad from last season. And Garnacho was the only... Rashford wasn't here. We didn't use Rashford. Anthony wasn't here. We didn't use him. Sancho wasn't here the whole year. Malassi we didn't use. So 4 of the 5 players we're selling weren't even part of it last year. Garnacho was. Is he the fall guy? I think we needed to get rid of more shit, to be honest. And we've got most of it still here. So some people in our fan base want to be positive, and I love that. But they don't want to be realistic. They see the same players coming back looking like they've lost weight, and they go, oh, yeah, fitness plans, we're ready to go. A bloody treadmill and a salad is not going to make you play football better if you're not capable of doing it. Like, the big problem we have is that some of these players are just ridiculously limited to this system. They can't play this system. And that's not necessarily their fault, but it's certainly not Amrim's fault. It's Sir Jim's fault. He brought a manager in to play a certain system, and he hasn't got the players to do it. And we're still looking at the same players trying to play a system they can't play. Look, I don't really think Casemiro can do it anymore in the Premier League. I don't think he's quick enough. I don't think he suits this system. I don't think Bruno, as an 8, suits any midfield. Luke Shaw can't do it anymore. He can't. He looks off the pace. And, that's 3 big players straight away, and there'll be more. But I don't mind the 3 at the back. Sad Sack says I can't stand 3 at the back. I don't mind 3 at the back, but what I don't like is 5 at the back. And look at the stats. 56% possession for Leeds, no shots and no shots on target. We're not going to concede goals. We're not going to concede goals, are we? Because no one's having any shots. But we're not going to be good to watch if we're going to play like this. We're going to be hard to beat and hope to score a goal or 2 here. And that can't be Manchester United. That can't be the plan. Like, there has to be more to it than that. So I want to see us play some good football. I really do. We've got a here we go on Rashford already. Breaking news, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona, here we go. Verbal agreement in principle between all parties involved, with Barca planning for medical tests next days. Loan deal with buy option, details being finalised today. Then Man United will authorise his travel to Spain. Great news. Rashford to Barcelona, great news. That's happened really quick. I hope it works. Yeah, very happy with that. Okay, I've just got to turn off the timer here. Do you think it's been released on purpose when Man United are playing? I don't know. Daddy Ninja, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Collins, Hugh Lee, and Sophie as well. Appreciate it. So breaking news there. Marcus Rashford, here we go. In no time. Very, very quick. So, please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, if you're watching. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. I wish Mbermo was a 10 as well today, says Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Yeah, still half time. I think it'll be 15 minutes. The system will not work currently in the Premier League, even if we sign the best players, says Jeffrey. I mean, that's not true though, Jeffrey. Don't out yourself as ignorant about this system. This system is not like teams have won the Premier League with this system. Conte's won it. There are teams that are already playing with 3 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs in the Premier League. So, Wolves do it. Bournemouth do it. So, it can be done. But whether you like it or not, that's something else. But it can be done. What I will concede with you, Jeffrey, is it won't work with these players. Like it won't work if you use players that can't play it, and that's the big problem. What's for dinner today, says Maxud. I'm having a Chinese takeaway tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm very spoilt this weekend because last night Terry did the 8 o'clock show, and I went out for a few drinks with the lads and had a curry at the end of the night, and then tonight I'm having a Chinese. So I'm living the dream. Very clear to me that we need a new midfielder, says Andre Gomez. Tell us what you're having. If this is what we're starting with next season, had we sold Bruno, we could have bought an elite one, but instead we're broke and looking for scraps. I think I just got to address Bruno for a moment. A lot of people in the chat are talking about selling Bruno, etc. If you're new, you might not have watched the show that we did 6 weeks ago talking about whether we should accept £100 million from Al Hilal. I got to the point where I would have took the money. And the parameters of that we're at rock bottom. We need a reset. We need a rebuild. And if Bruno is the sacrificial lamb for that, then do it. Because he's not a midfielder. However, if we're going to use him as a number 10, that's a different conversation. So if Bruno was playing as number 10, I wouldn't probably be saying sell him. But as a number 8, I don't know how this is going to work. His natural inclination is to press and move forward. And then that leaves space in the midfield. And we're not good enough. There's very few teams in world football, whether it be PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool. There's very few teams whose midfield pivot, one of them can just wander forward. It's not a criticism of Bruno. I just think he's out of position. There are very few. I can't think of teams that can allow one of their midfielders just to wander forward and be part of the press. It's indisciplined. And it will leave you exposed. And it becomes even more of a problem when you've got a midfielder like Casemiro next to him who lacks mobility. So it's problematic. What I'm hoping to see in the second half is a completely different 11. I would imagine it will be Rasmus up top, Mount, and he might put Bruno as 10 in the second half. He might not. I'm trying to think who the other number 10 will be. It won't be Cunha, obviously. But I'd like to see, he might play Mainu there actually, but I'd like to see Agate and Mainu play in the pivot and see how we do. Bruno doesn't play in the pivot for Portugal either. People need to watch Portugal. He doesn't play in the pivot. He plays advanced. The last time I watched Portugal, they had Bernardo Silva in the pivot and Bruno was more advanced. So, very clear to me. Thank you very much, Andre. We are in the mud. The club is finished, says James. Wake up, Mark. Amrim's a fraud, says Making the Grade. We desperately need a midfielder, says Fuji. Well, bloody Richard Rios is about to sign for bloody Benfica. Bloody Benfica. I mean, why are we not moving for him? I don't know. Hi, Mark. Do you think the players are rigid like previous years because they're so afraid of losing mentally? They rather defend and hope for the best, says Gareth. Leon and Collier unsure out wide. I think the game has passed Toby Collier by, really. He was playing as a number 10 and then he's gone to right wing back. I mean, if there's a player that needs a loan or a sale, he's certainly not a number 10 and I don't think he's a right wing back. So... thank you, Patrick. Says Shaw and Mazraoui too conservative and Casemiro is not mobile enough. Definitely need rethinking. Barca sent a bid for Rashford. It's a here we go, mate. It's a loan deal with an option to buy. Not Amrim out. I just hate 3 at the back. Why I didn't want Conte in 2021 or Tuchel? There's nothing wrong with that, Matthew. Did you see Ten Hag yesterday? Says Shihab. They lost, didn't they? But, it is pre-season. I finally get what you mean by low IQ players, says Jahid. Thank you very much. There's no way we see Casemiro and not run for centre midfield now, says Barima. Are you going live for Rashford? Here we go. It's difficult to go live when you're doing a watch along, but we have spoken about Rashford. Here we go. It's a weird one. You know, you wait all summer for Manchester United to move players on, and then you're doing a watch-along, and in the space of 2 hours, we move him on. But look, it's positive. We've got the 8 o'clock show. There's no way we see Casemiro not run for centre midfield now, says Barima. Mark, I'm actually English/Ukrainian. My great-grandparents moved here 84 years ago because of Germany. I watch United stand more than the war news, says Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. Hope you and your cat are doing well. I like Amrin, but if we keep playing Bruno and Casemiro, he'll be gone by Christmas, says Azor. More excited to see Kone than Mainu. Well, actually, Alberto, I actually have a question here. Maybe it's going to be Mainu and Mount at 10 and Kone and Agate in the midfield, second half, which I'm all up for. I don't think it helps Mainu. I don't think Mainu needs to be playing as number 10 because he ain't going to never get in the... I mean, look, if Mainu comes on and plays really well, great. He's looking lean. But I don't know where he's going to get in this. There's too many players in this team that I don't know where they're going to play. We look really stacked in the pivot and in the number 10s. You've got Xerxes, Cunha, Mbermo, Ahmad, Mount, Mainu, Bruno, Agate, Casemiro. You've got 9 players. And that's not counting people like Collier and Kone. So we've got 9 players for 2 positions. On the plus side, at least we're looking for concerns to fix now rather than winning team lean photos thinking they're back stronger, says Nick P. I think instead of building the team around someone like Bruno, Amrim actually needs to tap into the individual player's strengths, says Renton. I just think Bruno is still a fantastic player. I just think he should be playing in the number 10. Who's with me? I think we're using our best player at a position. Be like putting De Ligt at right back. Or... you know, playing Agate at centre-back or putting Rasmus as a number 10. Like, I'm not saying they're our best players, but what I'm saying is I just feel he's out of position. And he's our captain, and he's very important. Cunha is the only one showing ability on the pitch. He is the only one that has played well so far and want to see more of him. Cunha is an example of what signings Ruben can make. Hi, Mark. We won't be this efficient, but we need at least 3 more players. Also, what do you think about a Serie A game potentially being moved to Australia? I'm all for it, mate. I said it a few months ago. I think this is the way football's going, and I think you need to jump on it. I know some people are against it, and I respect that, but, you know, they do it with the NFL. Another league is going to do it. We could make a lot of money out of this because we're Manchester United, and I'm thinking about Bournemouth away, where there's 11,000 fans. Why can't that Bournemouth away game be played at MetLife in New York? Bournemouth make more money than they'll ever bloody make, and we sell it out. I ain't got a problem with it. A lot of people will have a problem with it. I don't. You know, and I'm not great with change, but I don't actually care about that. I don't want to see Man United Liverpool not at Old Trafford or Liverpool Man United not at Anfield. But we do play a lot of games, and why can't you play a Carabao Cup game? Why can't you play a Carabao Cup game in Sydney? You know, if the players are happy with it and the clubs are happy with it, I ain't got a problem with it. I really haven't. Within reason, the NFL won't put the Super Bowl. Well, they might do, but other leagues are going to do it, and it's going to make a lot of money. I have changed on that one, Brad, because I think we have to change. Hi, Mark. Missed my previous super chat, says Jordan. Sorry. 720p pumpkin soup and bread for lunch. We are United, says Zach. How's the team looking, Mark? Can't watch the game, says Patty. Look, my honest... Moose, thanks for the follow, and Samba, thanks for the follow. My honest assessment is this. It is pre-season, and therefore, we shouldn't stress. But... the negatives are very similar to last season. Defensively, it's a back 5. The midfield is struggling, and we're not creating enough chances. Positives, Cunha looks good. Leon's looked steady. Ahmad looked good when he came inside from the right wing-back position. Obi, on limited service, doesn't look out of place. So I'm not going to start going, it's the end of the world. I mean, we've made one signing and we've sold nobody. And this is probably one of the reasons that we are where we are. We need a goalkeeper as well. But in this game, we haven't had a goalkeeper be tested. So we can't really moan about that. And look, OB's 17. If you had Sesko up front, it might be a bit different. We are currently only 50 subscribers away from 121,000 on YouTube. So please click the subscribe button, get involved. We are live every morning at 10 o'clock, every evening at 8 o'clock on the YouTube United Stand channel. So get involved and subscribe. Thank you very much for the follows as well. Antonio, appreciate that. Mermo, Benny, love that. What do you think about Luke Shaw? I mean, I'm not going to call him Luke shit because that's childish, but I did say this at the end of last season. Luke Shaw is a player that I've always defended as being, you know, a very, very good player. I've always said that. But why didn't anyone tell me the second half had kicked off? You bloody shits. But yeah, in relation to Luke Shaw, I need to just start the second half timer here. In relation to Luke Shaw, you could have kept me going for ages then. In relation to Luke Shaw, I think his big problem now is his inability to actually play good football. I think he's struggling with that. Agreed, Mark. Bruno is wasted in the midfield. Curious the formation of attacking players you would like to see, says Tavis. Well, now that we've brought in Mbeumo, I can't put Bruno as a 10, can I? Because I'd have to drop Ahmad or Mbeumo. So I presume we're going to play Mbeumo or Ahmad on the right, and then the other one at 10, and then Cunha next to them, and Bruno in the midfield. You wouldn't need to. You basically didn't need to buy Mbeumo if you're going to use Bruno as a 10, which is why I know we're going to use him in the midfield. I'm just trying to figure out the changes we've made here because we are watching on 720p. So, and Leeds are on the attack. But I will read it out to you very quickly as soon as I have it. And nobody's actually, is anybody actually, well, Heaton's in goal. I mean, this is really difficult now because we're watching on a potato and we can't see. I think we've changed the whole team. When do we reckon Cunha will headbutt someone? I'm taking 12-1, says Andy Mack. Okay, I've been sent it now by Matt, the editor. I knew he'd help me out. So the second half team for Manchester United is... Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, I can't find it now. I will get it. I don't know. Don't talk to me about Leeds. I don't know what they've done. I presume they've changed their team. I can't think about that. If anyone wants to tell me about that. Ricky says, I was full of optimism, but now disappointment looms. So... Second half United looks like this. Heaton in goal, Yoro, Maguire, Heaven, Delo, Dorgu, Agate, Mainu, Mount, Mantato, Hoyland. So, yeah, it is Agate and Mainu in the midfield. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Anyone want to let me know about Leeds? Have they changed their team in the second half? Okay. Why no Kone? Yeah, it's Mantato playing in the 10. Heaven and Yoro. Nice switch out to Dorgu. Probably play better in the second half. Leeds have made some subs as well because Longstaff's on. I can't believe people are still saying Rashford to Barcelona. Here we go. I mean, it's... You must be on bloody pigeon internet. Leeds have changed 7 players. So we've changed that whole lot. Xerxes not there, no. No, Xerxes not there. Rest in peace says, can you please rate my newest edit? Oh, I can't see it, so how am I going to rate it? Delo's cross is good. No one's there. Goes out for a throw-in. I still think Delo's our best right wing back because at least he pushes forward. Lone says, Cunha off is not great, to be honest. Well, you say that, but they're only going to play 45 minutes anyway. Sam says, Maguire was good for the last part of the season. I think he should have had Shaw's place today. At best, he's genuinely one of my favourite players. I completely agree with your son. Thank you so much for remembering the cat. No worries, Sam. Rashford, here we go to Barca, says Joe. Rashford, here we go, says William. I'm full of optimism, says Ricky. Rashford loan gone through to Barca per Romano, says Tristan. Agreed, Mark. Bruno's wasted in the midfield, says Tavis. Thank you very much for that. You do know we had Rashford, here we go, about 20 minutes ago. I mean, I'm all for updates, but like we did do it 20 minutes ago. Like I saw the tweet. See, we're playing a lot higher line now, aren't we? Look, we were never this high up the pitch against them in the first half. Look how high that we are up now. It's like a different team. Well, it is a different team. We're playing much higher up the pitch here now. Cunha's been taken off because it's pre-season, mate, and most games you'll see 45 minutes, probably up until the second or third US game. You might start to see 60 minutes for some players, but definitely the first couple of games you're going to see 45 minutes for everybody. It's just the way pre-season rolls. Ollie boy, thanks for the follow. Ahmad is our best right wing back, not Delo, says OG. Well, you might be right, but we're definitely playing better this second half. We're a lot higher up the pitch. Barca going for a loan with an option to buy stinks of them stop-gapping until they get what they actually want. I guarantee they won't pay for him, says Lee. Benefit of hindsight, would you still sign Agate, says GGMU. I like Agate. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. Cunha, here we go, says Luke82. Looking much better this half. More flair and energy. Gives me little hope for this season. Not a total grind, says Jack. Why the hell have we agreed a loan? This is a joke, says Clay. Looks better second half, says Tony. Yeah. Still a lot of space in the midfield. But there's more mobility on the pitch. Yoro's playing right centre-back. Obviously, Heaven's playing left centre-back. Cross came in there. Maguire clears it for a corner. This kit looks like a bloody Spurs kit. I've said it before. Go and have a look at Spurs kits from the late 80s, and it looks like this. Bad enough they beat us in the bloody Europa League final. We don't need to wear a bloody kit as a tribute. Rashford will be back next summer as Barca go for Nico, says Aman. Look, Rashford could be back playing for Man United under a new manager next summer. I said it, and I wasn't joking, a month ago. I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford outlasts Amarim. Obviously, he's not going to be there this season, but he could be back. Joey's gifted a membership. Thank you, Joey. Alan Dolby, thanks for the follow. I adore Mainu, says Sam. I genuinely think he'll be at United an England legend in the future. I hope he stays here, but higher up than we play him. I can see him and Bellingham as England's 6 and 8. He's got to have a good season, Mainu. Last season, it was a disappointment. Do you honestly think we could get players like Sesko and Yulmlin, or is it all just media spin? I haven't even heard us get linked to Yulmlin, Daniel. It's better by Leeds. Very good by Leeds. It's very good by Leeds, and it's a good save by Heaton. Their best chance of the game, that. Carved us open down the left-hand side. Simple pass. Dorgu's fell over. Heaven sort of in a bit of no man's land, really. And good save by Heaton. Oh, another chance on the back post for Leeds. Goal kick. I never understood. Tom Goodwin, thank you very much for the follow. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. We're only 20 subscribers away from 121,000. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United Stand. Can you give Shazzy a shout-out for me, Mark? Says Tony. Shout-out to Shazzy. How does the presence of Obi affect who we sign at striker? I feel like he could emerge within the next 3 years. Love the show. Been watching for 6 years, says Ryan. Manicanian has just gifted 5 memberships, by the way. Big shout out to him if you got one. Jemba, here we go, says Runa. Yoro is world class. He's starting to run with the ball, says MK. I think he's got huge potential, yes. I think this is our best centre-back combo, says GGMU. No. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'd say Yoro, De Ligt, and Martinez when he's fit. Do you honestly think we could get players done? That one from Daniel. I think we don't play a high line because of Anana, says Football Analytics. What do you think of Rashford and Mbeumo deal at the same time? They were waiting until Rashford deal done, says Faisal. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, look, it's nice to have 2 deals in 2 days. I hope that can keep going. What's your thoughts on Vitek? I think he should have been given a chance. I don't want to sell him and he becomes another player that does well, says Nate. Well, obviously, Amorim prefers Binder and Heaton, unless he's going to change his mind for the US tour. Good play here. Mantato. Rasmus into Dorgu. Thought about having a shot. It's cleared away. Keep saying Champers. Shazzy, hate you saying it. Champers, Tony. Good tackle there. Who was that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that was. Was it Mainu? Yeah. Leeds on the break, though. Fucking hell, they've got runners all over the place. It's got to be offside. Good save, Heaton. Yeah, offside. Again, look. Again, the midfield's not doing very well. It's running at our back 4 again. 5. Yeah, he's miles offside. Here's Delo. Pirro is class, says Robert McCormack. Get Coney on, says Sandy. Leo says, was Obi good when he was on? He was all right. I think he did all right. I don't think there was a lot going on, but I think he did okay. Thanks for subscribing, Chris Platt. How did Cunha do? Cunha went off at half-time. We've basically got a different 11 in the second half. But yeah. I mean, look, when we got the ball into him, he looked lively. I like the way he wants the ball. He wants to run with the ball. What's the Premier League Summer Series and why are we in it? The Premier League Summer Series is Bournemouth, Everton, Man United and West Ham in America. I don't know what happens with it. I don't know. That's a bad pass. No, that's all right. I mean, Leeds are looking threatening here. I don't know the context of their first half team and their second half team, but Burma will be playing next week. Yeah, he'll be on the plane to the States. Carl says, thanks for the membership, whoever gifted that. Also, what's your thoughts on the swap deal for Martinez? Big up the Football Manager saves, says Jake. What swap deal? I feel like you might have a bit of info I don't have. Harry Sinclair says, I kind of think that Bruno and Ugarte could work as a pivot, but I'm not sure. I'm writing my master's dissertation on EDI in the workplace, and I'm having leftover burgers and Domino's for dinner tonight. Enjoy it, mate. It's Saturday night. If it makes you happy, it can. As Sheryl Crow once sang, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. Probably some of the best lyrics ever sang. Depends what makes you happy though, because it could be bad. Like if I don't know, trying to think of something, like if necrophilia makes you happy, it is bad. You'll go to prison for it. Don't do it. Was she Scottish? Yeah, Peter, I don't really understand why I did it Scottish, actually. Definitely did go Scottish, and she's not. I think Cheryl Cole, not Cheryl Cole, forget her. Sheryl Crow. I might Google her, actually. Leeds again, running at the back four. Nice ball in. Good save, Heaton. Fucking hell, he's busy. He's busy. Heaton's very busy this half. Leeds are growing in confidence here. JD says, you are terrible. It's only pre-season. Pletty Goal says that Rashford to Barcelona is considered a done deal. Understand it's almost a free loan and Rashford is taking a significant salary cut to make the loan move happen. Rashford has been Barcelona's clear priority for weeks, as exclusively revealed. Bayern were never in the race for him despite other reports. Understand it's almost a free loan. Fucking hell. It's getting worse by the minute, that deal, isn't it? So, I presume we're just getting the wages off, aren't we? I presume. If it's a free loan, so basically what normally happens is, like, if we loan Anthony to Betis, they'll cover his wages and we'll get 5 million. When we loaned Sancho to Dortmund, they covered his wages and we got 7 million. So I presume Barcelona are paying us nothing for the loan, and Rashford's took a wage cut, so we don't pay the wages. So Barcelona are basically getting Rashford for next to nothing, and we save 300 grand a week. Free loan, bloody hell. I mean, why wouldn't you do it if you're Barcelona? I mean, I've always said this. I mean, fair play Barcelona. If I was Brighton, I'd take Rashford on a free loan. If, you know, fair play Barcelona, but I mean, fucking hell. Trump will lift the World Cup trophy next year, says Truck. United have got a free kick here. I think Rashford will do well at Barcelona. Well, one thing I would say is back to reality. There goes gravity, because all the winning team photos and looking lean, this is the real work, isn't it? And I'm not saying we should panic, but what I am saying is, to all those United fans who were saying in the middle of June, wait till July the 1st, we'll start a madness, and we didn't. And to all those United fans who were saying we're looking lean and we're ready to cook, I'd say we don't. It's going to be a hard season. It's going to be a very hard season. We can have a good season, but it's going to be bloody hard work. Matthew says Mount's an absolutely nothing player. Cruiser. I think my biggest criticism of Mason Mount would be is sometimes I don't notice he's on the pitch for 20 minutes. I think Leeds are going to score in a minute. I'd be very surprised. They're playing the better football. Good bench warmer for Rafinha and Yamal, says Love Hate Games. Will they be playing two squads in the States too, says Luca. They definitely will in the first game. Here we go, just confirmed. Rashford, Romano just posted it, says Shim. Sosman, stop sending super chats to non-read, says Barry Sham. Thoughts on Astronomer CEO affair caught by Coldplay, says Jesse. I thought it was hilarious how he apologised for it and then tried to blame Coldplay. I was having a private moment and, they filmed me. Yeah, you're at a bloody concert, mate. Hi, Mark. I know your book was out ages ago. I was out of the country and recently back. Any chance of doing any more signed ones? Hope you're well, blood, says Nevster. I haven't got any plans to do one at the moment, but I could probably sort you one out. Who is your dream striker signing? Sesko for me, says Gigi. I think what's left, yeah. Wasn't Nonto meant to be a really big talent, says Bronzy? Oh, yes. Yes. Mazza says, Hoyland attitude stinks. Mark, please bring back Driving with Goldbridge. I love watching the old clips. Mainu and Agate would be a good midfielder. I do honestly think we need Mainu more. He's defensive and great going forward, says Sam. Thank you, Sam. Brilliant strategy as always. No spine, no structure, just vibes. Let's sign 5 more wingers and hope the goalkeeper learns his job. Top 4, try top 15, says Ali. Jay says, how are Leeds looking? I mean, look, we're not here to assess Leeds, but they're going to have a very hard season. I think if you want to stay up, you've got to start well. You don't want to get in the rhythm of losing. And it's very competitive in the Prem. Even if you're a decent team, it's very competitive. So they're going to have to defend well. And they're going to have to score goals. But it won't take long for these players' heads to drop as well. They're all great when it's, winning team and you look lean and all that. But when things start to go wrong, the heads will drop. Have we had a single shot in the game? Yeah, it's there. We've had one. I need to get that. Is that actually going round or is it paused? No, it's not been going round. Thanks. God. 70 minutes. It's gone a bit quicker than I thought. Sum up the game, says Jay. I have an opinion on pre-season that 0-0's a bit of a shit show. Like, there's a load of people in Sweden who've come to watch this, and I mean, the tendency should be to be a little bit more on the front foot than on the back foot. What does, 0-0 in a pre-season game? It's, you'd rather have a 4-4, wouldn't you? Like, I don't see the benefits of a 0-0 really. I mean, it might not finish 0-0, but but look, I think one of the big criticisms of a 3-4-3 or a 4, whatever it is that it can naturally become very defensive if you're not energetic. And I do think at times it becomes a back five like it did last season. I'm bored shitless, says Perry. Gary Neville says, fancy a charity boxing match. Well, you're not the real Gary Neville. And Burmo is an amazing signing, but I believe we could have saved the cash, played Ahmad at 10 and invested in a proper proven right wing back, says Mac. Another drinks break here. Heard you say many times Bruno's our best player and he's fantastic. What makes him so, says Jimmy. Mate, I didn't say like he plays for Liverpool or Man City. He plays for Man United and we're shit. So Bruno is our best player based on we're not that good. I think as a 10, he's our most creative player, and he's our most talented player. But obviously, I sort of get where you're coming from if you're sort of like saying you don't think he's that good. We play with the same intensity as the Europa League final, says Safonda. Appreciate that, mate. Been excited to read it, says Nevster. Thanks, pal. Delo at right wing-back is infuriating. Just watch him closely. Receives the ball in space with only one defender ahead of him, and he never attacks the line, says Sam. Maguire's gone off here after 20 minutes. This is where I'm going to say something harsh. I like Fredrickson and I like some of the younger players, but this is where I think we're wasting time that we haven't got. I genuinely think that you should be using 24 players max in this pre-season. I don't think we've got time to be giving young players games that we're not going to give in the season. In previous pre-seasons, I enjoyed it. But this pre-season, we're not playing the system well. We're not creating chances and we're not playing good football. I don't think we've got time to just give everybody minutes. Like, I think we've got to get up to a point where even in the next game, I'd be looking to give Cunha and Bruno and Casemiro, etc. an hour. Because these kids are not going to be playing against Arsenal. Fredrickson will be part of the squad though, Mark. Yeah, but like he's not going to start against Arsenal, is he? I think we've got to be ready for those first few games of the season. What's 15 minutes against Leeds going to do? Look, maybe I'm wrong, but my point is I thought this pre-season was meant to be massively important, and if we're just going to treat it as a bit of a PR exercise to give everybody minutes, and we're not going to see any improvement in the way we're playing. Like Luco says, it's pre-season. But that's my point, Luco. Like all last season, people justified it by going, he hasn't had a pre-season. And then we're in pre-season and people are going, it's just pre-season. There's a level of hypocrisy there. My opinion is the pre-season's really important, like most people said last year. And now we're in pre-season and everyone's going, it's only pre-season. It's total hypocrisy. So pre-season doesn't matter now, but it did at the end of last season. Another shot Heaton saves. Sorry, I've just lost the live chat there. Thanks everyone who's subscribed. We have hit 121,000. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Get involved with the channel. Live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. I'm just still waiting here. Hopefully it's back. Tom Heaton, man of the match, second half, yes. Not that he's had any competition, but he has actually made some saves. What's your thoughts on Wolves staying up, says Chris? It depends how good Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds actually are. I mean, I'd like to see it not be 3 up, 3 down. United have got a bit of a break here. And it could be a chance. Delo. And that's a corner. Mark, I'm worried regarding the new season. If we play like this, let's hope we can get it together when we have a full squad playing as a team, says Tony. Thanks, Tony. What's your opinion on cannabis, says Sam. I don't really have one. Being busy. How's the game been so far, says Reese. Forgettable. Hi, Mark. Cheers from Canada. Just tuning in. How is the squad looking? Average. Nath Footy. This is crap. I know it's pre-season, but it's crap, says Jordan. What is your thoughts on the United Strand, guys? Day 287 of not cutting his hair till United win 5 games in a row. Says, I'm begging for Wi-Fi. Look, United Strand hasn't cut his hair for a long time and won't cut his hair until Man United win 5 games in a row. Genuinely think he won't have cut his hair in a year. We're not winning 5 games in a row. I can't see it. I can't see a scenario where we win 5 games in a row. I just can't see United winning 5. He's set his standards too high. I would have said 3 games in a row. And that is more realistic. You might get a haircut before Christmas, but we're not winning 5 games in a row before bloody Christmas. What does success look like this season, in your opinion, says Mohammed? Champions League football. That has to be the minimum of what we're looking to achieve at Manchester United. But it realistically, I don't know. It's only game 1, but there's a lot of work to be done, isn't there? Who's the captain now? No idea. I think there's another youngster coming on here. Mantato or Fletcher on. I only got that one because the camera went close on the touchline. I never would have got it on 720p from a distance. 10 minutes to go. Cams, thanks very much for your follow. Appreciate that. I tell you what, it's going to be very interesting against Bournemouth next week. Because the way they play football, I mean, I don't know whether they've got a squad strong enough to be... The advantage Man United have in pre-season is that our second 11 will be a decent 11 compared to the first 11. Good shot by Dorgu, saved by the keeper. Could have been a penalty, that. X-Mex says, that's a penalty, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm not that bothered. It's pre-season, mate, but it could have been a penalty. We won't get relegated. Leo, thanks for the follow, pal. I am on the 8 o'clock show tonight, yeah. I'm probably going to get a Chinese takeaway, so I'll probably get a couple of pints while I go and get it. But I'll definitely be on at 8. Cross into the box. Nobody there. Farrell, bro, thanks for the follow. Stephen, thanks for the follow. That was definitely a penalty, says David. Oh, loads of people giving us a follow. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, if you're on YouTube. Somebody asked a really good question in the live chat there, and they said, "What do you think they're still struggling with the system?" I would sit here with Ruben Amorim himself, and I would argue it, even though he knows more than me. I would say, "You can't tell me this system's working. It's not." And that's not. He doesn't need to change it, but these players can't play it. Like they just can't play it. Like it's the same players as last year, and they can't play it. They've had another 2 weeks of intense training ground. They can't play this system. They can't play it. Like I would be worried if I was Sir Jim Radcliffe, because I'd be saying they can't play this system. They can't do it. How angry would you be if this was in season games? Says Jide. Depends if it was Elland Road, you might take a point. Still don't think Leeds have been miles better, says Marlow FC. I think it's been a very equal game. I think Leeds have had the better chances in the second half, but yeah, look, there's a few people out there, and you're always going to get toxic positivity. You're going to get over-the-top negativity. I'm pretty sure, and I said this morning, the Amorim out brigade that's been hiding for a few months, they'll be back because it gets them, you know, retweets and likes and clicks, etc. They will be back. I think that's over the top, but I also think toxic positivity is over the top as well. I think you've got to be real. You can't just say it's pre-season. Like, he plays a very distinctive system, and this lot can't play it. That's a big problem. Like, nobody looks really settled in it. And there's so many people that should be looking to impress. If the form from last season continues, how long do you think the board will stand by Amorim, says B16? I mean, I hope they're going to stand by him for a very long time. The best outcome is the outcome whereby they actually get him the players he needs. I mean, he hasn't been given one player from Sporting, which is crazy to me. Like, absolutely crazy. But people saying there's not been any improvement. We've sold nobody and we've bought one player. I mean, it's not that surprising. Because basically our tactic has been to polish a turd. They either can't play it or can't implement it. The wing-backs literally never overlap. Surely that's easily coachable instruction, says Luke. Well, it's easily coachable instruction, but why does Pep Guardiola buy players worth millions of pounds? I mean, surely if he can easily coach it to a Preston player, he'd just buy them instead. You know, you still got to have the IQ to do it. Where would this squad finish playing 4-3-3, says Robert McCormack? I don't know, because you'd have to have a different manager. Hoping for a decent season this time. I would take Europa League spot as the bare minimum to achieve it, says Lewis. He's positive. I'll have a pint to what you're having, Lewis. Bit of a shit show, though, putting on a 0-0 in a pre-season. You don't want to be doing this in the United States. You've got to score goals. Didn't we do this last year, though? Didn't we do this last year? We played pre-season games somewhere last year, and I think it was the same. What was our first pre-season game last year? Was it Scotland, or was that the year before? Rain. I don't know. I can't remember. I seem to remember the first game last year was dead boring. Rosenborg last year. Yeah, the post-season tour was that one makes me sick. That post-season tour makes me sick. Physically sick. Got a corner here to United. See what happens with this. Mason Mount, the invisible man. I can see him now. He's going to take the corner. It's in the air. It's headed around. He's hit the bar. He's made the save. He's made the block. How has that not gone in? How has that not gone in? Really should have scored there. I don't know how that doesn't go in. I mean, it's ping pong, pinball, tennis, whatever you want to call it. But we haven't scored. Hopefully we'll see a replay because it's the best action of the game. Still not showing a replay. Maybe show the replay now. There we go. Cross comes in. Headed to the back post by Rasmus. Mainu against the bar, against the player, and then it's gone. You got to score those chances. You got to be taking those chances, you know. You can't be missing those. Nil. 89th minute. Hi, Marky Mark. When we have Mbeumo as a 10, as well as in Amrim's system, I think we'll be okay, but I still want Obi, says Sam. I'm not Amrim out, but I still do not see a system or pattern of play after getting outclassed in the final. Something has to change. Could be a late goal here for United, says Garrett. Oh my Christ. It's his own player. Surely we're going to score here. We've got a real bit of momentum coming. Cross them comes in. Edge of the box. Over the bar. I think Mainu hits Rasmus with the shot. No, Dorgu. I don't think it was going to go in anyway, to be fair. Dorgu's looked all right. I agree. David Ornstein's just put something out. I will have a look. Barcelona set to pay whole Marcus Rashford salary as part of transfer. From Man United, impending loan plus option to buy includes 100% wage coverage by Barcelona as all parties work to finalise the deal. So 100% wage coverage, but that's it. No fee involved and no obligation to buy. Uh, 3 minutes added on here. We've had a good last 5 minutes. Don't go mad. Don't go mad. It's true. We've had a good last 5 minutes. You can't argue about that. We could have scored. They could have scored as well. It's probably a fair result. Let's leave it there. Yeah, it's going to end in a draw, isn't it? Thanks for all the follows and thanks to everyone who subscribed today. I'm sorry we didn't get a goal. It would have been nice, wouldn't it? But not to be. Not to be. I'll be reacting to the Rashford story on the match reaction straight after this. Yes, so we'll be live for that. Also talking about this for a few minutes as well. So join me on the United Stand YouTube channel straight after this. Do you think Mainu is better than Agate, says Sam? Technically, yes, but as a holding midfielder, no. I'm confused. I probably come out of this game a little bit more confused than I was before, although I still think I was confused before. I don't really understand where some of these players are going to fit into this system. There's not going to be a penalty shootout because Amrim's walked down the tunnel. So no penalty shootouts. The game is over. And was probably the right result. But for all the excitement this morning, I think it was a tad disappointing. I think there's reasons for that. But I think there's a lot. What I will say is I think there's a lot of work to do. I don't think you can overreact either way. I think there's a lot of work to do for these players and this manager. And it's a harsh reminder that winning team photos and smiley little TikToks and looking lean means nothing now. The real work starts now, and there's a lot of it to do, isn't there? I'll see you over on the match reaction. I'll be over there in a minute. Take care. I'll see you over there in a minute. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in on TikTok. Absolute legend.